This out-of-spec race to Vegas is brought to you by Martian Wheels. If you want to improve not only the style, but also the performance of your electric vehicle, head to martianwheels.com. This video is also brought to you by Fort Collins Kia. Fort Collins Kia loaned us the EV9 for this particular race, and we can't thank them enough. If you're in the market for a new electric Kia, head to Fort Collins Kia. They have some insane deals on them right now. This video is also brought to you by Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund. They're giving away a couple electric vehicles with this year's raffle. We'll have more on them in just a few minutes. Hello, good morning, and welcome to another out-of-spec motoring video. We, of course, love to road trip electric cars, and that's why we have a whole channel dedicated right here to road tripping EVs. And let's say you have a family and want to go on a road trip for yourself. What is the best big electric SUV to go on a road trip? Well, that is what we are going to be finding out, because we are racing 4 of the biggest electric SUVs currently on the market in 2024 from Fort Collins, Colorado on the typical race to Vegas. We're heading to Las Vegas, just over 800 miles in the Rivian R1S, Tesla Model X, Mercedes EQS SUV, and the Kia EV9. These are the only large 3-row capable electric SUVs on the market in our entire country right now. So this is all of them. We're going to find out which is the best if you want to take the family on a road trip. So I'll introduce you to the cars, the parameters of the test, and then we'll go out for an epic adventure.
I'm feeling lucky. How about you?
I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, no, never mind.
No way! No!
Can we turn on climate control? It's hot in here.
Yes. Dominic's filming, so if the camera work is a bit shaky, it's not my fault. It's my fault.
So we're stuck here. We are currently sailing. What a nice day to be out on the water. There we go.
Is it charging?
Certainly if they're charging, they have a right to charge. Which is why we would never ask someone who's plugged in to move.
So Max just unplugged the bolt. I don't know if he should have, but he did.
Are you kidding me? I cannot believe this.
You need to be like an engineer to figure this car out. Having issues initiating a charge?
So there's a Rivian station that is broken.
We are not charging. It just goes went to 0 again. So are you kidding me? But it's like it's raining out, so
I just imagine it's raining, everybody.
Yeah.
Relax.
So 152 kilowatts. This is so nice. We've got pillows.
Yeah.
I'm loving the pillows and the EQS. I'm just gonna put the seat back and I'll see you guys when we get to Vegas. I want to say a huge thank you to Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund for sponsoring this out-of-spec video. Guys, we work with them every year and they have a really cool raffle where they give away an electric car, except this year they're giving away 2 electric cars out of a single raffle. 7,000 available slots for 2 EVs to give away is something I've really never heard of. Best chances of winning ever. And the prizes are really cool. So you could have the option to win if you get the top first place. A Rivian R1S like this one here, a Tesla Cybertruck, a Rivian R1T, or a Tesla Model X Plaid. All awesome vehicles. We've reviewed all of them if you're curious about that here on this channel. The second place prize, first time ever they'll have a second place prize, is a Hyundai Ioniq 5, which is also a really cool electric vehicle. So all you need to do to enter to win is to go to evraffle.org. There's only 7,000 available tickets, like I mentioned, so definitely get in on the action. Chesapeake Climate Action Network Action Fund is a leading nonprofit organization fighting climate change and working on decarbonization. We love working with them every year. Again, a huge thanks to CCAN for sponsoring this video. Head to evraffle.org to enter for your chance to win a really cool electric vehicle. This video is brought to you by Martian Wheels. Martian Wheels produces high-quality wheels for electric vehicle-specific applications, and of course, I've been running them on my cars for years and years. I also have to say a huge thank you to Drew from Martian Wheels for joining on this trip. We want to highlight their new MW08 flow-formed wheel. After 5 years of road tripping, testing, and racing EVs, they developed a brilliant upgrade for Model 3 and Y, improving overall performance and reliability over factory OEM wheels. The MW08s are on sale now, so we'll leave the link in the description. All right, back to the race. Jordan joins me behind the camera. Jordan, you ready for a road trip?
I'm so ready for my second race to Vegas.
This is your second race to Vegas, third one we've done on the channel, plus we did the cross-country epic truck race.
We do a lot of racing around here.
So the idea behind this is, of course, most people will just charge it home and drive around town daily. But if you want to go on a road trip with the family and you do a lot of road tripping, which a lot of people in America do big electric road trips, which of these is the best? To be totally honest, Jordan, I have no idea.
Same. Actually, it could be anyone's race.
It could be, and with these, they get so close, so every second absolutely counts. It's really fun, of course. Is this the most useful consumer advice? I don't know. I actually think for a lot of people, it absolutely is. But let me walk everyone through the cars. We have 8 people for this run, 2 people in each car. We'll start here. The Rivian, on paper, has the most range out of all of these vehicles.
The highest EPA, that's right.
400 miles. Now, this is a Generation 1 R1S. However, there's really almost no change in the dual motor max pack from Gen 1 to Gen 2 R1S. And if anything, we have the 21-inch wheels, which might be slightly more efficient.
Right. So this is the most efficient outgoing, I guess you could call it, R1 Rivian.
Yeah, the one thing is I would have loved to have a Generation 2 R1S for this. They're just not available yet in the press fleet. So a huge thanks to Rivian for hanging onto this one, literally their last Gen 1 test car, so we could get this video in. And even talking to the Rivian engineers, they're like, it's not going to be much of a difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2. So this is the biggest range SUV 3-row that you can get on the market in our country. It is 140 plus kilowatt hour battery pack, dual motor with a clutch disconnect in the rear as well. The next car that we have is, well, I think the one most people are probably familiar with. It was the first 3-row SUV on the market that was electric. It's the Tesla Model X. This one is spec'd perfectly. It's the long range with the Aero wheels. We're not messing around. Secretly, they're cheating in this one though, Jordan.
Oh.
There's no 3rd row in this one. Of course, sometimes it's hard for us to find all the perfect specs and everything, but this you can get a 3rd row in.
Yeah, that's why I said 3rd row capable.
3rd row capable, because we also asked Mercedes for a 3-row one and they sent us a 2-row one as well.
Right.
So, this is just a difference of the rear seats or whatever, but it won't make a difference on a road trip. This is the 5-seat Model X, but essentially, you're not going to see really much difference with 6 and 7-seat. You could say the, 10 to 20 pound difference that those will add. I don't know the exact quoted. It won't make a difference, but this is a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack. And the key advantage for the Tesla, Jordan, there's actually 2. Tesla Supercharger network, because actually every Electrify America station between here and Fort Collins all the way to Las Vegas, at least something is wrong at one of them, or one thing is wrong at all of them, I should say.
Right, yeah.
So there's like D-rated chargers, some are offline for maintenance, and every station has available charging capacity, but it's going to be pretty tough for the cars like the Kia and the Mercedes who have to rely on them. This one has also the fastest charging speeds of all of the cars here, 250 kilowatts in this one, but it only holds it for a very short period of time. Right. So I'll go through the key advantages and disadvantages in a bit, but this one, they all could be so close. You've got the big range, you've got the big charging, and then you've got the really sort of flat charging curve that Hyundai and Kia vehicles are known for.
The highest voltage one right here.
Which is still not 800 volt like a lot of people will think. This is the large battery. This is the full range spec Kia EV9. Big battery, rear drive. It's called the light long range. And I have to say a huge thank you to Fort Collins Kia for loaning us this one for 6 months. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So a huge thanks to them. And, so if you need a Kia, buy it from Fort Collins Kia. Support the people who support us. And they'll actually ship it to you for free anywhere in the contiguous United States, which is kind of cool. So no reason not to buy a Kia from them, I would say. And this is the best one for families, also the flattest charging curve, but I think the software, some of the preconditioning stuff, like that might be where this starts to struggle a little bit.
It's a little quirky at times, but we should also note, this is by far the cheapest one here too.
Yeah, by far. This one's under $60,000,
yeah,
right?
58, 59, something like that.
Yep, and so we have a big price range variance here. And I think maybe really does have a chance because it will hold over 200 kilowatts to 80%.
Yep.
Which is pretty impressive. And then we have the luxury barge.
On the other side of the price range here.
So this is just over $120,000. And it's actually not really winning in any category on paper, Jordan. It doesn't have the highest charging speeds. It doesn't have the highest range on paper. But actually in the real world, we've actually range tested all of these. This is the longest range one.
Right.
What's interesting is when you just look on paper and you say, oh, the Rivian says it has 400 miles and this says it has 300 and do you remember the EPA?
330.
330 mile EPA, right? That's a huge difference. This went 50 miles farther in our 70 mile per hour range test than the EPA. The Rivian, run on the same day in side-by-side conditions, take a look at our Out of Spec Reviews channel, went 50 miles less.
Crazy.
This is why you can't trust EPA numbers and why you should never buy a vehicle based solely on range. What matters to us is road tripping capability, which is what this test proves out. I think this is going to be either really great or really terrible. I have no idea. I've never road tripped a Mercedes electric before. So first time for me. Drew and I will be in this car. So I guess what we should do is introduce everyone to the teams, just talk about the strategy, because there's a few different ways of doing this test. Our Race to Vegas is, the whole idea is you put experts in an electric car and you give them all the tools needed that they can get from here at our office to Resorts World in Las Vegas as quickly as possible. We have a 10 mile an hour over the speed limit maximum, so you can go slower if you want to extend your range, if that's part of your strategy, which typically is not the best thing to do with an electric car. You just want to drive fast, charge fast. But we don't go more than 85 miles an hour because there are sections of the desert, especially through Utah, that are 80 maximum, so we don't do more than 85. Same rules we run on our cross-country truck race and all these things. We want to keep it safe and fun, and this is not about how fast you can drive, it's about how far you can drive and how quickly you can recharge. It's a whole efficiency and charging game, not a driving speed race. Let me introduce you to all the teams. I'll be behind the camera, and let's get to talking about advantages and disadvantages. Before you guys already start commenting, this is how we're running the race to Vegas. The return race to Vegas, Jordan, I'm really looking forward to that one. So we're gonna find out in this video, and maybe a part 1, part 2, which is the best road tripper if you just go balls out. You know, run it to zero, do everything you need to do to maximize the car. On the return, we are just gonna follow the in-car route planner recommendations.
Right.
Because I think that's actually how most people road trip.
And route planning is very different between all 4 of these cars. So
yeah, huge variances in route planning. I am introducing you guys now to the Rivian team, Jordan and Andreas,
Hello.
the dream team. You guys did the F-150 Lightning with my dad in the truck race and lost. So we're putting you in the longest range car on paper.
Yeah, we're on our vengeance run today, so we should be placing first, I think.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Eating less this trip than the F-150 one, I think.
Slightly less, slightly less.
Slightly less.
Yeah, we don't need a food tour across the Rocky Mountains.
Everyone's already seen that. We've done so many trips down this path.
So what do you think, well, why do you think you're going to win? Because I actually think you're not.
Yeah, I mean, it could go any way with any of these trucks, vehicles, whatever, but we have the longest initial range, which, as we've seen, can really help. But then again, yeah, the charging's not amazing on the Max Pack, and so I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So you have Max Pack, 140 plus kilowatt hours, but because the truck can pull 500 amps longer than the large pack, it really stresses the thermal systems.
Yep.
And it's a hot day today.
We will be going through 100 degrees most of the day.
Yeah, and maybe even 110 as we near towards Vegas.
Yeah.
So your Rivian is struggling with cooling. We've known that because I drove this truck out from California. Now, the Generation 2 Rivians, we have to say, will have an updated cooling system. Talking to the engineers, though, it's very, very marginal on the battery pack cooling. It's mostly for cabin cooling.
Yep.
So I don't really feel that bad that we're not using a Gen 2, to be honest. It might be, you know, let's just shave 10 minutes off or whatever. We're not going to do it, but that's would be my guess.
So I think we basically push as fast as possible, and we do have the benefit of Supercharger Network, Rivian Adventure Network, Electrify America. We can use everything, and so we're going to try to limit the EA use because we have a couple other EA cars that will, I mean,
clog up the stations.
Clog up the stations, and as you've previewed the route, there are no fully functioning EA stations or systems, pods, whatever. Every single group of EA stations has something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So. One's derated to 50, one's down. But that is true. You are the only Rivian that can use the Rivian Adventure Network. And there's one in Grand Junction, which I think, if you're careful, you can stretch it from here to Grand Junction.
That's the hope.
And use that big range. That's going to be your big advantage. Andreas, you're familiar with Rivian. You drove my truck in the towing race.
Yep.
By the way, the Rivian on the truck cross-country race was right up in the front of the pack.
Yep.
So maybe I'm thinking in my head it's going to do worse than it will. This could really pull out a win here, actually.
This will be so interesting. So,
any thoughts, Andreas?
I'm very positive. You know, I got the range to make some modifications if necessary, and other than that, no. I think he might have a chance to win. I'm very optimistic, but we'll see. The heat might cause issues, and
we're gonna plug in, charge, turn off AC, don't do anything in the cabin.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wet rag trick on the superchargers. Do you have rags? I got some for you.
I'll need some, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because you'll explain that. We don't recommend anyone do the wet rag trick if you see it in the video, but it does work. So Ryan and Lacey, you have the Model X, which by far is the fastest charging vehicle here, but for a short period of time, and maybe the most efficient. Ryan, you're a expert at these things. You really came in for the win in the Taycan. Well, I guess second place, but it was a battle in the Lucid Taycan one. You're a veteran EV road tripper. What's your impression?
Yeah, so it does have the highest peak charging rate, but it's got some weird charging behavior. It doesn't like to charge very quickly below 10% or so, and it'll start tapering pretty aggressively about 35-ish%. So it's important to try to stay at the lower ends of the pack to take advantage of that advantage. Additionally, we've got the Tesla Supercharger network, which will make things really easy. Also really fast to activate all the charging, so that's something that we'll definitely be able to eke out a few seconds right there.
And on that note, I've actually left the CCS adapter in the car. It's in the center console because Green River, you may actually want to use a CCS charger.
Yes.
Because there's only that version 2 supercharger there.
That's correct.
So you'll be able to play it by ear. We'll talk about Green River with these cars because Drew and I may actually have to hit Green River, which could be sketchy. Yeah. So Lacey, what do you think? It's your first race to Vegas.
I really think I'm going to win. I mean, Ryan's really proved himself. I think he's the biggest expert here. So and that's why I chose to ride with him, and I definitely didn't get paired with him. I mean, you guys chose it for me, but I'm really excited for it. So I think we have a good chance. I really don't know anything, but
I wouldn't say that.
I'm
you
excited.
Have a lot of Tesla experience. You own an Aria, so you're an EV owner.
Like road tripping in an EV, I have zero experience in. So I'm really not sure like of how long we're gonna have to stay at all these chargers. So I'm really gonna rely on him. I definitely am the snack support, so that's kind of what I'm excited about. I got a lot of
disadvantage actually because yours was not equipped with the third row. We put a cooler in the back to offset the weight, so you're carrying all the snacks. And because it's very possible that you'll be ahead of us, maybe leave some on the side of the road.
See, I was thinking of doing that, but I think I'll just leave some like funny little notes for you guys. That's about it.
Okay. I think that's a great idea.
You'll have to feed yourselves.
So Ryan, the strategy for the first charging stop, where do you think you're going to head to?
Most likely Parachute. I think that'll be pretty easy to reach there. That'll be the last place we can get 250 kilowatts until Richfield. Yeah,
that's hundreds of miles after that. Wow, there's a gap of superchargers that really sucks on this route.
So that's definitely a challenge, and especially with the X being stuck on a version 2 supercharger, especially if you're sharing, that's going to be really painful. But
that could be the make or break.
It really could be.
These things come down to seconds.
It can, for sure. We've seen that, and I think just judging on the efficiency that we get on our first leg, we'll be able to set up a pretty good situation, try and figure out what's going to work best. I think, yeah, really the only challenge is between Parachute and Richfield. Once you're through that, there's so many options, way too many 250 kilowatt chargers, so it's smooth sailing from there. But
and the nice thing is, because Resorts World, where we're ending, has all those Autel level 2 chargers, we can just pop in and arrive at 0%.
Pulling dead.
That's right.
Pulling dead.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you guys. Wish you the worst of luck, and see you along the way. Max and Dominic, this is the Kia EV9, and this is a car that I think, to maximize it, will require the most amount of effort and knowledge, and no bigger EV nerds than you two.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm excited not just because technology-wise, it's got the 800-volt, GMP architecture.
It is not 800-volt, Max. This is
nominal
500
800-volt.
No,
800
it's not.
Volt class.
No, it's 530 volts.
800-volt class. It's above 400. But other things to know with this is the MSRP. I think of this light, long-range, rear-wheel drive, basically the range spec, the road trip spec, is that this is what, like 60 grand? It is about 30 grand cheaper than any of these other options. This is really the people's choice.
This is a value vehicle.
We're representing America. We're representing the middle class.
You're actually representing South Korea, because this is not built in America yet.
Okay, but it will be soon. In Georgia, it might get a tax credit. Already, to be honest, even without a tax credit, it's competitive. That's sweet.
Yeah, totally agree. The EV9 makes so much sense. We've given this vehicle so much praise. I think the only real issue, Max, you'll probably agree, is the software. It just doesn't help you on a road trip.
Yeah, I will say massive leaps and bounds improvements, both from a hardware and software point of view over the EV6 infotainment system, or I guess pre-refresh one, right? With this model year at least. I think EV9 was the first to introduce this. They have a new OS. I think it's running a new chipset. It seems really responsive. They have theoretically route planning capabilities that we'll find out how well they work on the way back.
Right.
But yeah, like Kyle was saying, we really have to optimize this guy the most, because as far as we know, this will condition the battery, you know, for colder climates. I don't think it has any form of like battery cooling manually in advance for conditioning for fast charging.
Right. It will cool during a DC charging session, but not on the way to a charger, is my understanding.
Yeah, and
but we'll find out.
Yeah, but one of the benefits of this new software platform is it's OTA-able, over-the-air update. So maybe Kia can watch this and, you know, learn a thing or two.
Yeah. Dominic, any thoughts?
I'm going to leave most of this to Max because he's actually driven the car before. I've never driven the Kia EV9, so this is my first time seeing it this morning and getting in and trying to figure it all out. If I can figure out how to open the doors, I'll be pretty happy because so far that's been a challenge.
He just didn't have the key. Now you have the key.
Now I have the key. Now it'll open.
It's not a Tesla. You can't just use your phone. Well, you can actually. If you buy it, you can set up your phone, but we don't own this car.
Wait, no, I got it in mine.
Okay, we'll just take Kyle's phone.
We'll just take Kyle's
phone. Yeah, look, I've got Kia EV9 right here. So I can start messing with the car. I can start messing with the car on you guys and locking it while you're at a charger.
But I've already jumped in the back seat in the third row, and there's plenty of room. That was kind of like the important part for me, really, just kind of see, you know, well, like, to experience like the EV9. How is the third row? Because that's really the important part. You know, why would somebody buy an SUV this big? It's really for that third row, unless they haul like a ton of gear. But yeah, and it's not bad actually. You know, I'm like 6'2", and
yeah.
But it's kind of a little bit tight, but not bad.
We just compared all these vehicles on the Out of Spec Reviews channel with a full family review, reviewing the interior space with car seats and reverse facing and things I've never heard of before, and the EV9 won by a mile.
Awesome.
So that is the best family car in terms of space.
And Dominic, you daily drive like a rear-wheel drive Model 3, right?
That's right.
So you're kind of like an efficiency guru, so I'm hoping that will come into play.
No, just try to be gentle on the accelerator and keep things even.
Yeah, we might have to sweat a bit. It's really hot.
Yeah, might get kind of warm.
You got air conditioning.
Well, but we don't have to use it.
Okay, I mean, it's totally up to you. Whatever you guys want to do.
I was driving when I was driving across through the south on my way here. It was like 98, 100 degrees, and it took several percent to keep my car cooled down. And it has a So this one doesn't have the glass roof, so it doesn't have to work too extra hard, but still.
It's black paint, so we'll absorb all that.
That's right.
Well, I think you guys truly have a shot. You have a great charging curve, great charging performance. If you can get the car in the correct temperature range and find chargers to give you that much power, basically you and us in the EQS will be the only ones really relying on EA for the whole trip.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, it does not make sense for you to use any superchargers, even with Magic Dock, because they don't support as high voltage as the EV9 needs, and you'd be stuck at 85 kilowatts, which is, you'll just lose right there.
Yeah.
But you also have maybe the least range out of anyone here.
Really?
Yeah, so the least range and pretty good charging.
It's indicating 385 right now.
Right, so you won't get that on the highway.
If we were driving around Fort Collins, we might get that.
Which is what this vehicle's been doing.
Yeah.
Right.
But 99 kilowatt hour battery, I think that's the smallest pack. I don't know what the Model X is.
Yeah, it's about 100, but it's way more efficient.
Yeah, because it looks like that.
Yeah.
Whereas this looks like this. It's a brick, but it's actually reasonably efficient. I think we've all been driving around. It gets like over 3 miles a kilowatt hour, this rear wheel drive one.
Okay.
So that would be over 300 miles.
Yeah.
So I'll basically use as much range as you can on the first stretch, and don't unplug if you're charging fast, and enjoy the ride. We'll see you guys hopefully along the way.
All right, so how's the seasoned Cannonballers doing? What's your strategy?
Okay, everyone's gonna already complain that we're together, but I've only ever won one of these things.
Okay, there you go. So
I've lost.
You're the least likely to win.
Yeah, according to past performance, I suck at this.
Mm-hmm. Cool, yeah, and I also have never won one.
We broke the Taycan Cannonball together.
Yeah, I'm talking about Race to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. No, you really sucked in the first one. I don't know what you were doing. You didn't even show up for the beginning of the first one. Timon had to drive the car down.
Right. Yeah. It was a messy start. Yeah, made wrong decision on the first charging stop, and that just
screw you.
Blew it. So, yep.
So EQS, you and I both have never been on a Mercedes electric road trip.
Never. Really looking forward to it, though. The interior spec, especially massaging seats.
We're using
really
all the comfort stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of this turn off AC crap.
Not for this one. Not for this one.
No.
It's gonna be like 110 in Las Vegas when we get there.
I'm just hoping the Germans know how to do thermals.
Yeah.
And I bet they do.
I'm sure they do.
Because we have, okay, not the longest range on paper, but I think the longest range in practice. The problem is we can't really use all of our range. There's not a good charging gap for our first stop.
Right.
So we can make it to Grand Junction, but then it's 130 miles or whatever to Green River, 100 plus miles or so.
Right.
And there's nothing in between there.
Right.
So ideally there would be something in between Green River and Grand Junction for us to stretch to.
Right.
We do have the option of just going slow.
Sure.
And going straight to Green River. The thing is, Green River screwed us.
To do some math.
Green River could be a make or break because Ryan and I got stuck there in the Lucid and the Taycan, and it ruined the entire race to Vegas.
Green River's been an issue for a while.
Yes.
So that'll be a decision that we'll have to maybe just get going, start to see what our efficiency is and what the expected arrival we have and things like that, and just sort of do it on the fly. I mean, again, we don't have much experience with this, so yeah.
I think if we can stretch it to Green River, we should take the risk. It's a Monday. Last time we did it on a weekend, it was busy. Today's not a heavy travel day.
Yep.
And even if the Chargers are derated in Green River, which I was just there and got full speed like last week, so I'm not too worried about that.
Okay.
But even if they are, Salina's only just up and over the hill.
Sure.
So I think we might take the really slow first leg approach. We'll see. We'll feel it out as to how we're going. The EQS, of course, is this one, like I mentioned, is the 2-row version. But again, the idea behind this was all the 3-row SUVs. You can option this with a very functional, usable third row.
Imagine it has a third row.
Right. And you can only get 21-inch wheels on EQS.
Okay.
I should also mention this is the brand new EQS, the 2024, with a bigger battery, 118 kilowatt hour usable, up from 107.8.
Nice.
It now has the brake pedal, which is fixed. Remember before it used to fall away from you?
Oh, so bad. Yeah.
So that's fixed completely.
Great.
And you can actually use like one pedal driving and regen without thinking you're going to die.
Oh, that's awesome.
We have a heat pump, which isn't really going to help us today, but there's a heat pump. And what is going to help us today, we have a clutch disconnect.
Oh, okay.
Because this is a dual permanent magnet system, we now can disconnect the front axle, which is the correct axle to disconnect, and we can run rear primary axle for motive force.
Wonderful.
And I think the blob, the ugliness, will help us with efficiency.
Yes, the egg shape is advantageous.
Yeah, so I actually think even though on paper this does not excel in any singular category, we are going to have to work hard, but I think we can bring in the win with this.
If optimized.
The Model X is the real challenge.
Sure.
But the stupid supercharging gaps is what's going to hurt that.
Yep. Yeah, we have a new one supercharger in Richfield now.
Richfield version 3.
That probably helps.
Yep.
Versus our previous Race to Vegas's.
Yeah, we've actually run a Model X in the same configuration on a previous Race to Vegas. It'd be interesting to compare the times. That was winter, less efficient, but still could be interesting.
Yep.
So I'd say let's not delay anymore. The reason we chose this car was because I think people are going to be like Kyle and Drew are the EV road tripping nerds, and this, on paper at least, should be the worst one.
Well, they're so used to you guys jumping out of a supercharger, 6-second handshake time, and now they're going to see you guys flailing around at EA trying to figure it out.
Not having any fun.
We'll see how it goes.
Wish us luck, and I wish all the teams luck. Of course, this is all safety first, speed second, and we'll see you all in Las Vegas. So we are all lining up to leave, and I have arranged the cars by range in our 70 mile per hour highway range test, because we've tested all these versions before. So the Kia has the least amount of real world range, which makes sense. It's the smallest battery, tied with Model X, but is a brick. This is certainly going to be more efficient than the Kia will be. So that has the least amount of range, did almost 300 miles on the charge. Model X also almost 300 miles on the charge at 70, but just like 15 or 20 more miles than the Kia. And then this one did some big range, over 350 miles at 70 miles an hour. And then, or maybe it was 346, excuse me, just under 350. And then the EQS over 370 miles at 70 miles an hour. So, you can look at EPA numbers or you can look at our testing. I tend to trust our testing a little bit better for the highway portion. EPA is, of course, a mix. And I think Ryan is having trouble because the key reader is only on the driver's side on Teslas. Yes, he owns a Tesla. Thought you were an expert at this. I can share the card to your app, by the way. And so, yep, so we're all gonna go. We're gonna reset trip computers. Everything is charged to 100%. All of the vehicles are pretty much fresh with low mileage. So we have 2,000 miles in the EQS, about 2,500 miles on the R1S, maybe 3,000. This one has the most at around 10,000 miles, but Teslas hold up really well. And that's actually probably not a bad thing, breaking in the tires and the bearings and everything. And our EV9 has about 3,000 miles on it. So they're all relatively fresh, new EVs and with almost no degradation. And we're ready to rip. Should be really good. They all cold soaked overnight. All the tire pressures are set to their manufacturer recommended when cold, because we parked them here at the office overnight and set them this morning when tire pressures were cold. So we're doing this as properly as we can, and then it's just up to the drivers and the teams to maximize each car. 10 over the speed limit maximum, no more than 85 in areas with a higher speed limit, no less than 55. Sometimes there's those construction zones in the middle of the desert. You'll get rear-ended if you go, 40 miles an hour in the middle of the desert. So we say 55 minimum for those construction zones. Drew, let's quickly look at what we have going on in the EQS for setup. Yep. So foot on the brake, and we got to have a physical start button because we're classy and old school. Right. I've got a fingerprint for Kyle Connor. You may want to set your seating position as number 2. And what else? I've already reset our trip computer. This is the beautiful Hyperscreen, and it's actually awesome, I think. Nice. I love MBUX. I'm a huge fan. So we're going to go this route. We're going to basically go I-70 through Rifle, through Grand Junction. And what I'd like to know is, can we make it to Green River? And it is going to do it's 407 miles. Okay. Now, the car says 385 at the moment. Yeah. But if we drove gently, 467. So it put in one charging stop, which would be 18%. And then we'd get there at 10. So we have an 8% difference. I think
you can make that up with driving. Although, I mean,
the problem is all of these are just so far off the highway, but I like the idea of it pulling in a bit early if we are going to stop, because we'll have a little bit more pack voltage, a little bit higher state of charge in Glenwood Springs than we would if we stretched it to Grand Junction. And because this is an amperage limited car, we actually do want some state of charge in it.
Okay. So that's probably the move then. If that's, not far off the highway, then
I'm going to remove this and then just see. Ignore charging station. Yes. And let's just see what it says. Maybe it'll just keep adding chargers the whole way. I can turn off. Yeah, now it's adding a different charger.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, okay. So let's just turn off planned charging stops. There we go. And now
this is
we're at 100%.
Deja vu.
Yeah, we the same as every car that we do this with.
All right, so here we are in the Tesla Model X. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty good. We've got everything set up. Our first stop will be in Parachute. It's predicting 9% arrival, which is perfect. And yeah, should hopefully be pretty smooth. I'm predicting we're probably just all going to be like neck and neck for the first few hours. No one's going to be charging anytime soon.
We have 3.5 hours to go to our first stop. We're trying to hit Glenwood Springs. Now, Kyle seems to think we might be able to hit Grand Junction in the EV9. I'm very skeptical because distance-wise, okay, Glenwood Springs is only 220 miles away. And we've seen the 70 mile an hour range test results of this EV9. It can go 270. But we have the Rocky Mountains to deal with. We're basically going to cross the Continental Divide, go through the Eisenhower Tunnel. We have 5,000 feet of climbing to do. And of course, yes, a lot of it is regen, but we're still going to be higher than we started, net elevation.
And driving faster than 70 miles an hour too.
At times, yeah.
I think that the biggest challenge we'll be facing is between Parachute and basically Richfield. There's not really a lot of great charging options, so trying to maximize the charging infrastructure is always the biggest challenge there.
Okay, and I noticed you turned the AC on just now. It feels really nice. How is it gonna affect our driving and our range?
It'll probably hurt a little bit, but with 9% arrival, I'm not too concerned.
Have you been on 70 before?
I have not. I have no idea what that's like. This is the first time for me. Here. Yeah, I've never been to. This whole route I've never been.
Okay, forget the competition. I'm actually really excited because like I-70 is one of the most scenic highways in the U.S. The parts between Colorado and Utah. So you're gonna see a lot.
Just start honking and we'll start moving. Let's go. Everyone's ready.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, we just heard the quack, the honk, whatever, so I think that means we gotta go.
Can we turn on climate control? It's hot in here.
Yes.
Okay, we are going comfort. Cooled seats. So we'll go shades closed for the duration of the drive. AC on. We're pulling out of the office.
All right, so Jordan.
We are off, ready to win, because we are coming off that vengeance of having lost drastically, which is not our fault. We were given a rough road tripping truck.
Yeah.
But we are heading out to Grand Junction, and we'll see what it says. Grand Junction, go.
Let's go. By the way,
according to Rivian, we should make it to Grand Junction.
Yeah.
Without stopping.
Okay, rolling up the windows, AC, 68 degrees, we'll keep it moderate.
All right, so this is the route to get out of the powerhouse, but I live in this area. I propose we take this road all the way down. I'm not sure if everyone's gonna take Jefferson, so.
Now turn right onto North College Avenue.
Oh, looks like they're turning right, so we'll see if they turn around.
And everyone's turning right out of here. That's interesting. I would not go to the right, but if everyone else is going,
I mean,
oh, it says right.
Are you all? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
unless you know some local secret.
No, Jordan's going left.
Yeah. See. Okay. Okay. What do we do? You tell me.
Left.
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 Let's see what happens, folks.
Yeah. Let's see.
And if Mercedes is following us, nice.
Copycats.
So yeah, back to you.
Oh no, we're past.
Oh no.
We're getting past. That was an amateur move. I should have known. Oh, well, there's a big truck up here, right? So we're going behind them.
Yeah.
And as far as drive modes go, we are going to, let's see, not auto, we're going to low. That should give us the most efficiency. There is no efficient mode in Rivian, so it's just all purpose, and then drive mode low, easy on the throttle. That's all you can do.
Easy on the throttle.
And yeah, starting here, right about 5,000 feet elevation, we'll be heading into Grand Junction, which is just a hair lower, technically, but we do have some serious mountain passes to hit between here and there. So
yep,
we'll find out how this goes, but wishing us the best of luck. Wow, that truck's hauling.
Yeah.
Left at this light.
Gotcha. Let me in. Nice.
Nice job, Jordan. Cutting off Fort Collins.
Oh, the Mercedes went way ahead. They cut in front of that truck.
Yeah, I think you got it. Yeah, and there's a false floor that comes out to try and stop you from using the most.
Oh, is that what I felt?
Yeah, you can push past it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because it tries to limit you to like 30 or 40% power output. I forgot I also have my own passenger display in this one.
Look at that.
So I can direct the trip from here. I can also direct our air quality from here.
Maximum, please.
Yes. So would you like a level 3 fragrance?
Level 3. I love the smell of number 3.
I think we should go number 2 fragrance.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make sure second row climate is off, I believe. No, it's not. Let me hit off, save the energy.
Bullet.
Okay. And first row of seats, we are on light climate, so we're good here, left here. And we can go Eco 1 on the climate control as well. Increased risk of fogging. Mercedes also does some cool stuff as well, where they will tell you your instant DC charging performance.
Oh,
so if
great.
you were to plug in, you'll get 16 kilowatts right now.
Oh, huh. Not sure why that's too informative.
It's nice to know what you would get. You'll see as your battery warms up in the winter time, performance will get better. We have, yeah, range, 379 miles. We have the possibility of eco driving functions active.
Nice. What does that mean?
Don't know, but we just gained 40 miles possible.
Well, start pressing more buttons.
There's so much tech in this car, and it's been a while since I've driven one of these things.
Yeah,
so
it's really
I
overwhelming.
gotta relearn all this stuff.
Serious time with it.
Yeah, I do like them though. So now you have intelligent recuperation, which will actually prioritize coasting,
Sure.
which is what you want,
Yep.
and then regen as we get close to a vehicle in front, which is actually something like a 2012 Ioniq had, but still pretty cool that it's here. My B-Class electric has that actually.
Nice.
Yeah, good Mercedes tech. All right, well, we'll see you guys on the way. We're on the road. I don't know if we're in first or third place, but we're definitely ahead of the Rivian. So things are going well.
Oh no, not behind the slow truck. No, off to a rough start. Oh shoot. So this road here on Vine, it's kind of a back road. It's right next to the railroad. And I think the mile per hour, I think speed limit is like 35 on this road. It might hit 40 further up ahead, but
should I turn right here or straight?
No, you should go straight. Because a lot of semis like to go the other way onto Jefferson. And I'm really not sure where they went. I probably should have looked at that. But we're going straight. Yeah, so you're going to be driving for about 4 hours?
Looks like it. 4 hours, 5 minutes.
4 hours and 5 minutes. And it seems like, according to route planning, there's going to be some pretty heavy traffic.
Yeah, right when we're heading into I-70 into the mountains, but what's new?
But what's new? And how many times have you driven through the mountains, would you say?
A few dozen times, probably.
All right. Yeah, definitely an expert here. I'd say I've driven through like maybe twice, so I'm kind of glad that you're driving. So we've got 4 hours. We're racing. I don't see anybody. I think we all took different ways to get onto the highway, so we'll see how it goes from here.
So I think, okay, we try to go right here is what we're just actually going with the EV9 navigation system. And this will actually precondition automatically as we get to the charger.
Right.
But as we outlined, Kyle's pretty skeptical of this actually doing any active cooling in advance of the charging stop, which I feel like is a big miss on Kia's part, if that's the case, but maybe.
Right. We should check our AC. I feel AC already. Maybe we should check our temperatures and things.
We should. Yeah, we have an OBD2 app. I think that's on my phone too. So in between clips, we'll check that and update you with temperatures. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that while we're charging, because that's our biggest bottleneck. That's what Kyle meant when it's all about driver skill here, is the temperature, right?
Right.
If the temperature is hot on these batteries, well, they're just not going to want to charge as efficiently. So ideally, we can keep the ambient or the cell temperature as close as possible to 21 Celsius. Now, that's going to be hard because it's warm, it's hot, it's summer, we're living in a world of climate change. It's really intense at the moment, so we'll see.
Right, and that's 21 Celsius, that's like 72-ish Fahrenheit for our American friends.
Yes. Yeah, for what the hell is a kilometer, crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say we got a pretty good start. We saw the EV9 go straight. For some reason, they're trying to take the long way to the highway. How do you feel about that?
Seems questionable, and you were mentioning you're very familiar with the area, so I definitely trust what you're saying. I think we took the right way on this, even with this slowdown right here. Just trying to get left out of the office where we started is so challenging. There's always just so many cars going both ways, and it's impossible.
Yeah, and there's just such like heavy duty vehicles that literally take that way, like they take the left that we needed to, so that's what I was trying to avoid. But we're still running into some of those issues here, but I think we're still pretty good. I'm feeling lucky. How about you?
I'm feeling pretty good. Oh no, never mind.
No way! No!
Rats.
Oh my gosh, that is some of the worst luck. Okay, I was feeling good about it, but damn. The train passed by earlier. I didn't know it was gonna come again. I'm feeling lucky we're going to Vegas, so I think we'll be doing pretty good, except for when it stops literally right in the middle. Oh my goodness. This is awful. I wonder if anybody else got caught up, but man, I have no idea how long they're gonna be there for. Literally in a race to Vegas, the first thing that happens is we get stopped by a train. I don't think there's anything more Fort Collins than that. Oh, it's backing up. Maybe the conductor forgot something.
I mean, it's possible.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe it'll open up after this.
This is a great start. I think this is just fate because we were gonna be too far ahead of everybody else.
Most likely.
Most likely, because we're just gonna kill it. All right, hopefully they don't stop in the middle again. They'll back up and let us go. Oh, such a great start. Oh, just kidding. And there it is. Is there any way we can turn around, do you think?
We could if you want, but I just don't know if it's going to be faster or not. What do you think?
Yes, I think we should. Turn around, go to the next. They're stopped there. We have no idea how long it's gonna take. Oh wait, can you actually go straight like those cars?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Hopefully smooth sailing from here and the train doesn't somehow catch up to us. It looks like it crosses right here.
Across the train, we're past it.
Oh my goodness, what are the odds of that? Literally, if we had left like 2 minutes sooner, we wouldn't have run into that. We'll be pretty good. We got away from that train. I'm really glad we decided to go straight there. Awful luck, but I think we'll be fine for the rest of the way.
This is not good. So we lost the traffic game despite having pole position. We just saw the R1S pull ahead because they took some sneaky traffic shortcut. Now keep in mind, I live near Boulder, kind of Denver area. I don't live in Fort Collins. I don't know the local traffic here. So maybe that's a bit of a disadvantage for us. Of course, Dominic filming, he doesn't even live in Colorado. So we are non-natives to this starting point.
Yeah, we're at the mercy of the routing system or mapping system here, which is, yeah, now we're sat at a red light waiting for
I will say, I mean, it is red arrows, so it's complicated. If this was just a red light and it turned green, I would do that. I think they call it like a Massachusetts left, where the light turns green, you just kind of turn left, you know, before any of the drivers come, they have to yield to you. But we had a green protected arrow, lots of body roll on this 3-row family SUV.
There is no manual control of the suspension. It is just based off of vehicle speed.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully we'll get to -1, but you can tell if I come here to Energy Flow, we are running with a single motor on the rear. Now you can option the EQS with a rear drive only. We have the 4MATIC version, which gives us a slight disadvantage, but talking to the German engineers, they're like, now with the clutch disconnect, there's almost no penalty.
Great.
So we are good. We are gonna run rear drive most of the time on the way there, and hopefully never need to go front axle. We are currently sailing. What a nice day to be out on the water. So is it adding regen?
I am pressing the brake.
Okay, but it's using regen just completely for that. So that's cool.
That's correct.
Okay, so vehicle, yeah, 10% brake application there. So a little bit of blended brakes. And then at the end, we should see it, blend on the friction brakes to hold us.
So it actually used some friction brakes just then?
10% towards the end, but we're at 99% state of charge. We're at 4,950 feet of elevation. Las Vegas is at 2,000 feet, I believe, 2,500. So we have a slight loss. And I'm gonna figure out this route planner and all the tech in here. I feel like I know the tech. I've done an hour-long review of just the software in this car. I should probably watch that.
We've done an hour-long review of 3,000 cars. And so,
yeah. Well, they leave my memory. Yeah. I make the video and then it's gone.
I grew up in the Northeast, Dominic from the East Coast. We're just gonna be a bit aggressive. The thing I like about Colorado is people are pretty nice. So that means that they're nice. You can also take advantage of them.
Yeah, I see the roofing up there too.
Yeah, people will tend to yield to you here if they understand you're in a hurry, which I really appreciate.
We are now merging onto the highway for the first time in the Mercedes EQS SUV, testing some of that wallowy handling.
So we are exiting here, merging on to the I-25 southbound on-ramp.
Our estimated state of charge upon arrival is about 10% in Grand Junction, and we're gonna have to see if that's really the case, or we'll see this number shrink, I'm guessing.
Yep.
But by how much? Can we push it, or will we have to bail out, which would be not a good look for the Rivian, because it's only 300 miles from here to Grand Junction.
Yep.
So surely we can do 300 miles on a charge in the max pack.
Exactly. And it would be nice to actually charge at the Rivian Adventure Network, just because it's so Rivian, you know, it would be nice.
We're already getting the warning sign here. Charging is required to reach the destination. Search for EV charging stations. Okay.
He doesn't know we're EV nerds. We're fine.
And a nice gentle acceleration so we don't have heat loss.
I'm up against the wall.
Oh, you've hit the false floor?
Yeah.
Okay. This is
we're still accelerating, so I'm gonna leave it.
Okay. We also have great driver assistance in this one with like good lane changes. This probably has the best highway driver assistance of all the cars here.
Oh, cool.
So this thing will just do all the work for us to get there.
Love it.
And now we're in highway driving assist too. So the car is steering itself for us. It's actually a really non-picky system. It is, I don't think a capacitor wheel, it's a torque sensor, but it's so, like, I would argue, I hope Nitsa isn't watching this, like maybe downright negligent in its monitoring. You can go for like, I've tested this, 2 minutes essentially before it gets mad at you for that steering.
So this is like a very lax Tesla Autopilot.
FSD
basically
level, yeah, like early FSD before they added all the warnings. Like this is pretty lax, which I like.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, well now the FSD has got no warnings in the very newest one, which I don't have yet.
And there's the Rivian.
And there's the Rivian, so not that far.
So all the way back is the EV9. Who's it EV9? Max?
Max and Dom are behind us in EV9. Kyle and Drew are ahead of us somewhere in the EQS. They just launched it. They were like, oh, we're gonna go slow, and now they're gone.
We're just cruising, so we'll be on this for a while. We're at 98%, which I think is pretty good to be all the way here and only burn 2%. So
can we see where everybody else is?
Yes, we will all share locations, and I will get that going here in a moment once we're all settled. All right, Race to Vegas is on, baby.
We're finally getting on the ramp to get onto the highway. Still no sign of anybody else, but I feel like the EV9, if anything, might be coming up from that way. Not too sure. But we just decided to turn the AC off because the percentage kept going down. So it actually hit 5%, and after turning it off, it's at 9% upon arrival.
Now down to 7. So we'll see.
Now down to 7. Why does it bounce around so much?
It's just calculating off of a bunch of different variables. We're changing our route a little bit, changing our speed, how aggressive we're driving, and temperature and as well as traffic. All that fun stuff will be variable, so it's just calculating all that. Right now it's saying 5%, so we'll think, keep an eye on it.
Alright, we'll see how it goes then. That's crazy. So, you mentioned temperature. I'm kind of wondering, it's going to be like 100+ degrees by the time we get there. I know cold weather really affects your range, but what about hot temperatures?
Yeah, hot weather does affect your battery a bit. You're going to be a little bit less efficient. It's not as bad as cold temperatures, but again, also on top of the decreased efficiency just from the physics, there is also the AC that you're likely going to be running, which has a pretty significant effect too.
All right, here they are, passing us, which is fine. We are going below the speed limit right now. Just playing with getting a feel for the truck. Actually, not a truck, for the SUV. And yeah.
Yeah, we're on highway assist now. It's been a little finicky. Highway assist is one of probably the worst driver assistants of all 4 of these cars, which is interesting. Tesla does have autopilot. Kia, of course, has HDA, highway drive assist. And the Mercedes is a good driver assistance, but it failed on Max during the range test. It literally was like, can't function. Please service the car. So, hoping maybe Kyle and Drew can't use it, but they're probably using it and enjoying themselves. We are currently locked to 85 indicated, which is actually 84 GPS. That's why you'll probably see us at times going what looks like 11 over the speed limit, but that's just because GPS verified we are still within the rules. But yeah, here's HG or highway driver assist is like, sorry, we don't know what the conditions are right now, so take over.
Yep.
It's obnoxious.
So right here it says stay below 75. Do you think that's why it was kind of like slowing down? The autopilot was slowing you down a little?
I don't think so. There's just that one spot right there on I-25 that something about Tesla Autopilot doesn't like, and it wants to slow down. It happened in my Model 3. It's just, I don't know, some weird bug or something.
Some weird bug. So, since driving slower in an EV can make you reach stations faster, at some points, does it make more sense to drive slower so that you can go further?
Definitely, yeah. And it's an interesting trade-off, because if you go slower, you're going to be more efficient. However, generally speaking, cars, when they're charging, charge way faster than you're depleting the battery. So it makes sense to use as much battery as you can, get to the chargers at low states of charge. But another part of that is making sure you have enough charge to make it to where the chargers are. A lot of times we're limited by charging infrastructure, so we may end up having to slow down a little bit to make it to Parachute.
Do you think we're going to make it to Parachute?
We'll definitely make it. Don't know if we'll make it going 10 over the entire time.
Oh.
I have fixed our steering assist problem, Drew, by clearing our tire pressure and relearning to the correct values.
Saying
Don't worry about it.
Yep, and now we are good, and we are set on active steering assist, and it's auto lane changing. Oh, lane change. Did you cancel it?
With my just steering pressure.
Okay, yeah, it wanted to get us out of the HOV lane, but we are not going to risk getting stuck behind all those cars.
Here on I-25.
Yeah, I-25 is the worst road ever. Actually, all the roads in this trip until we get to like Utah kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean, at least once we get onto 70, it gets significantly better, and then out of, away from Denver, yeah.
But after spending time in all of these vehicles, we have the quietest and the most comfortable.
100%.
This is so nice. We've got pillows.
Yeah.
Loving the pillows in the EQS. I'm just going to put the seat back, and I'll see you guys when we get to Vegas. What a view. I mean, we've got Command Central right here. Everything we need to like monitor efficiency and graphs and charts, and like I've got consumption stuff going on here. I can totally nerd out.
It's made for you.
I know, so many menus. I love it.
So we can track the Model X, which is driven by Ryan and Lacey, on the app. They are behind us, so we are here, and they already have a 5% arrival, which with Tesla, it's always like, if you get a low percentage this early, I usually don't trust it.
Yeah, it's very speed dependent. So yeah. They can, I'd say they can dial the speed up and down a bit, which is what we'll be doing too. But that's interesting. It's pretty low. I think it's probably under Lacey's comfort zone, but Ryan is hardcore enough. I think that'd be a good combo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Drew, I have figured out our route planning, like arrival state of charge situation. Great. The EQS will only factor it in when you turn on the route planning function.
Yep.
And so right now, this is what it wants to do. It wants to go to Glenwood Springs and arrive at 41%. Now, I like that plan because maybe some of our viewers who are super nerds will get this, but those who aren't may not. The thing is, this vehicle is a 400 volt-ish battery pack. It needs 500 amps to charge quickly. But as the lower the state of charge you are, the lower voltage the battery pack is. And because this can hold full power pretty deep into the pack, it's actually to our benefit to arrive with a higher state of charge for a quick top up if we just need a bit of range, just so that we get a little bit higher charging power. Then we'll get into the groove where we can do these deep full send charges. Sure. The problem is I just don't think we'll make Green River. It's over 400 miles and we're going through the mountains and it's going to be hot. I think we need a 10-minute top up.
And there isn't the incentive to really push it, right?
No, and then maybe even if we're charging quickly, even at 57%, we'll have to play around with it. Yeah. It might make sense to charge up even a bit more, skip Green River and go to Salina. I don't think we're able to do that because of the climb into Salina. I think we're going to have to take the risk in this car and hit Green River.
Green River, yeah.
It screwed us so many times, but it's the perfect location.
Yeah, right, yep, yeah.
It's so strategic.
Right, exactly.
And it's a Monday.
Really need some upgrades over there, PA, please.
Yeah, we definitely need some station upgrades. Maybe like a 16 stall feels about right.
That'd be great.
Okay, so I think the plan is Glenwood Springs. The idea is now what we want to do is find the closest to the highway DC fast charger where we can accept high power. Yep. Grand Junction is like 6 miles off the highway. And the only one before that that's high power is Glenwood Springs. But only one of 4 is available right now. So okay. This is a strategic situation. We'll play around with it as we get closer.
Yeah, there's going to be some intuition coming into it, like feel what might be the right choice.
And you know the audience is going to think we do everything wrong, of course.
Well, they have the benefit of seeing our,
Yeah, they can fast forward. They already can find out what happens. We have no clue. I really like this system. Again, I think we have by far the most competent highway driver assistant out of anyone. Tesla has some phantom braking. It has 85 mile an hour top speed. It's got all these things. This can do like 130.
Okay, that's a massive difference.
Yep, and we've got all the sensors, all the stuff, all the comfort. And I think we have a good route plan set. So this is what we're doing. And next update from us will be in a while. Always the beginning of these trips, we have a lot of data. All the videos get stacked up and then we'll get into a flow. But my impression from the passenger seat is happy, comfortable, nice air quality with the fragrance on level 2. And we just have so much room in this car. It's so light and airy, and I love it. If I was 65 years old, this is what I'd be driving.
You can see 2.6 miles a kilowatt hour. I'm hoping that goes down a bit, maybe just the acceleration. That's all it's measured so far. Or sorry, it goes up a bit in terms of miles a kilowatt hour, consumption going down. We've gone 22.5 miles. How are you feeling so far, Dominic?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not sure if, it's all new, so we'll have to see how we do for this first, section of the, how close it will get to what the route planner says to actual, driving at these speeds.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, a lot of the folks, at least on X, which could be a biased audience, seem to think the Model X has this in the bag, right? Because it is efficient, it's got the Tesla Supercharger network,
right?
And the narrative that we've been fed, and it's really been true, is that the Supercharger network is amazing, which is true, but...
And they're closer to the highway, too.
Yes, and they're close to the highway, which last race actually proved to be very significant.
Yes.
But I think what people forget is that Tesla Superchargers aren't that fast. Tesla's batteries don't hold the deep charge curve.
Right.
And so when you think about it, this EV9 has the potential to handily beat the Model X, dependent on how much we can optimize.
Right. Which is the, right.
And then the EQS, I think the German one, Kyle and Drew are driving it. They're I think the most experienced of our bunch here. And that, the Germans, they know how to cool a battery. That thing is wicked efficient. I've driven it on a range test. That's dark horse here. I'm really worried about that, to be honest.
We are currently in the lead, best I can tell, Drew.
Woo!
The other guys are just a few, literally a mile. We're all within a mile of each other.
Yeah.
All pretty close. But we have, beyond just the function of choosing which massage we like, which we have a bunch that we can choose from on this journey.
Yeah, so important.
There's also ambient lighting functions we can choose, but also some nice things for long trips. For example, if you sit in a seat too long, you could get a blood clot.
Yep, I do.
There is something called seat kinetics, and I can set this profile to adjust your seat for 96 minutes, and it will just slowly move you around so you don't get any blood clots.
That's fantastic. I wasn't too worried about it, but
I should be more worried than you, actually.
You're always sitting.
I'm always in the car. So I'm going to go for the program as well, and it'll just keep us a little bit from getting stiff and tired and grouchy.
Wonderful.
Should keep us, our minds in the game. So that's great. We also, let's see here, have some great off-roading functions where I can see our suspension working and our articulation, so we can see how much we absorb.
Wait, can you see? Is it doing recline?
Yeah.
Just then? Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's
like,
yeah, it's moving you around.
It's a little aggressive.
What else can we choose from? Tire pressures, tire temperature. This is not off-road. This is racetrack stuff. Position.
That's awesome.
That's wonderful.
All right, so we have a range bubble on the EV9 software, which is pretty cool, actually. And so, yeah, this is supposedly the range of what we have, this little blue line around where we are. And this little flag is where we're headed for. So
Dom just triggered the control center thing there.
Wow.
Upping our speed up because we just left the work zone. But, where'd we go? EV range. So I think it's here, these 3 dots, and we hit EV range. It shows us that overview. Now, keep in mind, this makes it look like we can get to Glenwood Springs easily, right?
Right. And, yeah, the road's cleared up a little bit. Got this...
a little bit. We're still not going at our maximum speed, but it's not terrible at the moment.
Keeping pace with this 2nd-gen Nissan Leaf.
There's a lot of those here. That's become the new, professor car.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So a little inside, behind-the-scenes sort of cool hacks, literally cool hacks. This is our main phone for filming, and it can get kind of warm. So we're sticking it in the AC vent.
And Kia sized it perfectly.
Yeah, it slides into really nicely. As long as you put the camera bumps on the outside, it's all good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Guys, we are on our way towards Denver, and even though we left last, we are in the lead. Just by a short bit. This is like 1 mile difference in between us, but very happy to report you cut through traffic properly and you made the right move turning left out of the office.
Yep, well, that was your decision, and yeah, I don't know why they turned right, but...
Yeah, I mean, even the nav was saying to turn right. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you, but you know those roads, so that really paid off.
Local knowledge helped.
it says 174 miles to Glenwood Springs, and then the car, it's saying 294 miles of range estimated with a high and low, which I love. Chevy used to do that with the Bolt. Gosha loves it, right? Giving you the maximum minimum. Of course, that's not objectively true. You probably could get a higher and lower if we, you know, optimize either end.
Sure.
But it's saying low, reasonable, 167. So I'm feeling good about that. Of course, we will be pushing the low end of things because we're going to keep up a highway speed. We're going to keep up elevation climbing. Right. But I'm fairly confident about us reaching the Springs.
But this is coming up in the downtown Denver, right?
Yep. We're not going through downtown. We're kind of passing it.
Right.
But yeah.
We can see it there off in the distance at least.
And we're taking the express lane.
Oh, nice.
So here we're getting off I-25, merging onto I-76 west
to Grand Junction. Still hovering around 40, mid-40s for the range upon arrival. I wish they'd give us the charge upon arrival, but small complaint, I guess. Yeah, Highway Assist finally started working better, but Highway Assist has been mostly frustrating this whole drive so far. So whatever, we're stuck with this. But this thing rides pretty well. We are, to conserve energy, we do have it, again, in low suspension mode. And that does compromise ride quality just a bit. But so far, averaging 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour, that's pretty good. And everything else looks good. We have climbed a couple hundred feet in elevation, but that's not too consequential. So, still another almost 4 hours to go. And people say EVs don't have enough range.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is very nice being able to drive 4 hours on one charge. Yes, it is 100%. So if you're on a road trip, you would get this on your first leg, not on the second, because you typically wouldn't charge 100%. Yeah, nice views here. Model Y in front of us.
Yeah, weather looks good. We looked at the weather app, looked at the wind app, so we have very, very minimal wind, I think. No real weather to be concerned of yet, so yeah, so far so good.
All right, so we're about to get onto Highway 70, and it shows you a little preview of the junction here. It's kind of neat.
Hit some traffic in Denver so far. It wasn't too bad until we got to here. It's pretty red, but we're gonna take this exit, and it doesn't look too bad from here on out. But we did find some unfortunate news that we are behind.
All right, so traffic is opened up and we're moving along nicely, and but we are behind. So there's us back here. Andreas is up there. Kyle's ahead of him, so Kyle's leading in the EQS. These guys do some tricky traffic routing things, and we got Ryan and Lacey way back here, so they got really screwed somehow in that traffic. Yeah, but these guys, they knew better routes out of town, I think. I'm not sure. They didn't follow the same routes that we did exactly.
Kyle lives in, you gotta keep in mind, Fort Collins, obviously, so it's home turf, and Jordan's been up there enough, so.
Yeah, Jordan, he was behind us, and then they took an early exit and went around the traffic that we ended up encountering.
Gotta keep filming because this is the best spot, as most viewers at this point.
Genesee Park overlook.
Yeah, you've seen this on many hogback challenges. Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous.
We have reached the top of the first hill climb, still many more to go, and we've changed our plan based off of some information on the EQS. We do actually want to skip Green River. I think it's just too risky, and I think the EV9 is going to have to stop there, and I'd rather not risk that. So what we're going to do...
We would probably block them if we're ahead, right?
Yes.
But yeah, just skipping Green River, just all the issues we've had over the years.
Yeah, let's just avoid that. So what we're going to do is go to Grand Junction, which I should be able to show everyone here. We're basically going to go past Glenwood Springs, go to Grand Junction. It's a little bit off the highway, but we're going to do a deep charge there because this thing should hold full power pretty deep. I haven't charged this battery yet, but we're certainly going to try that. And coming into some traffic, unfortunately, but everyone will hit the same. And then we're basically going to skip Green River and go to Salina, which is going to be over here. So that way, Salina's great, right off the highway. So even though we're going to be going off the highway in Grand Junction, we will skip going off the highway in Green River, which is also off the highway. So it should even out. And I think this is the less risky move. So now we keep all eyes on the Grand Junction charger and hope, because we're first in line here, the Rivian's actually going to go to the Rivian Adventure Network site. The Tesla's not going to go there.
Yep.
The EV9 sounds like they're going to skip it too. So I think we might be the only ones going to Grand Junction EA, which is good.
Cool.
So fingers crossed there's an open spot for us at 1:34 p.m. over the Rockies.
So here, catching up on Kyle and Drew.
Yeah, the EQS SUV is right in front of us.
So they must have slowed down a little bit.
We've been doing some aggressive traffic maneuvers, still staying within the speed limit.
Yeah.
But aggressive for sure, but that's gotta be them.
It's gotta be them.
I don't see many other EQS SUVs out here.
We have the Rivian in our mirror, so they use the traffic to their advantage. We're actually all within a couple corners of each other, and they're coming up here. And Drew...
65.
Yeah, Drew is on the speed cap, and we're monitoring their driving. But they are...
I was thinking I was gonna let them in.
Yeah, definitely don't let them in. They have the highest EPA range rating of any of us.
Right.
Screw those guys.
That's a huge disadvantage.
You're right, even though we technically go farther. And this truck is not letting him in either. This dude's spicy in the Freightliner back
he's
there.
got no trailer. He's like,
Yeah, sport mode. Yeah, see you later, Rivian. Getting blocked off by a truck. We have already seen a peak of 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is incredibly warm for Colorado, especially this time of year. I guess we just hit summer.
Sure.
But we are going to see some very hot temperatures this trip, and good luck to the Rivian.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks the Rivian's going to win, by the way. That's what most...
That's what the vote
So the
is?
vote was
Okay.
Model X, but the comments are Rivian.
Huh, interesting. They haven't watched your videos.
They must not know how that vehicle does not charge well.
Yeah, and in the heat, that's going to be... I mean, it's just how bad does it derate?
Bad.
So...
It'll derate to like 110 kilowatts and then sit there. And that's the least efficient vehicle.
Have you seen these kind of temps? Because we're going to see, I want to say 108.
Yeah,
something like that.
I had it in 115.
Okay. Right.
So 108 might be a little bit easier on it. Not by much though. So yeah, the thing is the supercharger handle will overheat, so you wrap that, but then the battery overheats.
Right.
So it actually might be in the benefit to have this.
Just let it, yeah.
Yeah, at that point you're just running into limits everywhere. So I think the Germans are going to have this sorted. That's my guess.
We are passing Georgetown, beautiful lake, beautiful scenery. So we are 3,500 feet up from our initial elevation. But Andreas, how's your ride in the Rivian so far?
It's so comfortable. I love it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the towing test video. It's just so nice to road trip this thing, you know, sitting up high. Nice suspension.
The software is great, the suspension is good, everything's pretty good in this truck.
Yep.
And route planning is seemingly solid. Our state of charge on arrival is now up to like almost 15%, maybe 14%.
Yep.
So playing with that, hoping to not arrive too high is the thing. We want to make sure we use every bit possible.
Yeah.
Right up here is Silver Plume. If we were not in a race, I would stop because Silver Plume is one of the best coffee shops, Plume Coffee Bar.
I heard.
One of the best coffee shops in the Rocky Mountain region.
We are entering the Eisenhower Tunnel, and we are currently at 55% state of charge, and we have averaged 454 watt-hour per mile. Keep in mind, we are now over 10,000 feet of elevation, so don't use that as a mark of our car's efficiency. The rest of the crew should update you as well. Dude, this looks cool in here.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Damn, nice. So we are, I would say, doing pretty well. We've got pretty high consumption, but of course, gaining all that elevation. Now we'll start to gain some of it back. We have a pretty steady arrival, somewhere around 20% into Grand Junction, which tells me the Mercedes nav system is totally confident with the elevation profile of this route, and it is adjusting for some of the changing traffic conditions. But let's pass it off to the other guys since we're the first one at the top of the tunnel and see how the other cars are doing on their stretch.
And we are checking in at 57% state of charge.
Exactly.
at 10:35 a.m. We are also averaging 1.89 miles per kilowatt hour once we enter the tunnel, which is decent, especially given the hike up to 11,000 feet. So that's climbing 6,000 feet over our starting point, you know, over doubling our elevation. So not bad. And yeah, welcome to dark mode. The new Rivian software really is fantastic. It looks good, pretty responsive, not class leading, but the new Rivian should be class leading in terms of responsiveness. So I can't wait to try that out. Can't wait to try out the sound system. Me and Andreas are being pretty efficient here because we're not using the sound system because it sucks. Technical term. I mean, it's not the worst by any means, but it's not as good as the Meridian that came with, I guess, the higher level trim / original R1 series. But wow, traffic the other way looks rough.
Oh yeah.
Glad we are going this direction.
Yeah, good choice.
Are we blocked?
Yeah, so what they do is they bottleneck traffic going into the Eisenhower Tunnel. They check, you know, they want to make sure no trucks with hazmat are coming in.
Right, so we're entering the tunnel. The time is, what is the time?
10:39.
10:39. We have 49% battery, and our efficiency is, what is our efficiency?
2.3 miles per hour, and that's with climbing. So this is actually doing better in efficiency than the EQS, which is crazy, but that's also good because of how Kyle and Drew are driving that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, something cool I just want to note, it turned off the climate venting for comfort because it recognized we're going through a tunnel. Okay. So it actually puts in a restart while we're in the tunnel. It's a really thoughtful little Kia feature they have.
Right, because we don't want to breathe in all the fumes.
Nope.
We just now entered Eisenhower Tunnel, and the state of charge is currently at 47%. And what did we say we were getting? 2.6?
Yeah.
2.6 miles per kilowatt hour. Everybody else has been updating theirs as well. Still in last place. Looks like everybody else got there a few minutes ahead of us. Dominic at 10:38, and he's in third place. So okay, well, he's 5.
Did they give times for the other ones or no?
No.
Okay.
Unless I'm missing it. No. So I think we might be about like 10 minutes behind Kyle then.
Probably. It's all right.
Do you think we'll make up for it?
I think so.
Do you think they're cheating?
No, I think we just got unlucky with the train, and then also a lot of people like pacing each other on the highway less than 10 miles an hour over, so we weren't able to reach our 10 over sometimes. And it's now predicting a 17% state of charge arrival, so we should be able to plug in, get peak speeds, and hopefully be on our way pretty quickly.
Gorgeous views up here today. Could not have picked a more perfect day. And in fact, my viewpoint, as long as you can handle the thermal management of the hot weather we're going to have, the hotter, the more efficient. We'll have less air density, and most HVAC systems are pretty efficient these days, where talking to a lot of engineers at car companies, they're like, the best thing for range is as hot as humanly possible. And you'll just have less air to push out of the way. So Rivian doesn't really work that way because they'll be battling the thermals, and Kia maybe as well. I know the Ioniq 5 and EV6 struggle in hot weather, and EV9 just has bigger battery, more stuff to cool, but hopefully upsized cooling. I've not had that car in hot weather. They'll be experimenting with that.
And this is where we get big regen. Where else in America, Dominic, can you go 70 miles an hour and be regenning this much? Not too many places.
Yeah, this is my first time in an EV road trip. First time in a race. There's a lot of firsts for me here, so I'm here to learn a lot, kind of just to provide the consumer perspective. Everybody else is nerding out about all the specs on all the different models. So many numbers, so many units are being thrown out, and I'm just here for the ride, basically. It's really cool. I think the biggest thing that I learned is how to maximize charging efficiency on these things. So when Kyle first reached out to me about this, he was talking about how us being in the Tesla, like we want to arrive at a charger, like very low percentage, but then at 40% we'll have to leave. That was news to me. I'm like, would you not want to get to like ideally 80% and like keep it safe? But it's a race, so like we really have to push it. So definitely so much for me to learn on this kind of stuff. Yeah, I think I'm kind of nervous about how we're gonna end this though. I know we haven't hit a charger yet. Road tripping in an EV is apparently not doable to a lot of people, so I'm excited to help bust that myth. There's a lot to come from this trip, at least for me as a newcomer. So we've got a lot more exciting views to come, but we're still behind. But once we get all these charging sessions under the belt, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. So I don't think we've shown the bracelets quite yet, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Look at these.
Made some great bracelets for us.
Team Tesla. Maybe we'll leave these at some of the superchargers as a little Easter egg for other people that use them. But we'll see how it goes. It's not looking too good, but anything can happen.
We are now approaching the top of Vail Pass, right, Drew?
Vail Pass, yep.
And we're going to check the built-in altimeter in the Mercedes. So we are at 10,462 feet.
662.
Oh, for 10,662, 10,700. I'd say it rounded. Yeah, pretty close. Pretty good. Okay, now 680, 670, 660. Nice.
Slightly optimistic.
And our efficiency still pretty high, of course. Low efficiency, high consumption, but we're at, again, over 10,000 feet again. So now that is literally the last highest point of the trip. We will hit close to 8,000 feet in Utah on a couple of those passes on the way to Salina, but that's about it. Now we'll coast down into Grand Junction. We are racing, so that means use every available bit of the road. Also, actually for traffic flow, you do want to use every bit.
PSA. Use both lanes when
absolutely
they're available.
Otherwise creates unnecessary traffic backups.
That worked out great.
That was wonderful. And so even though the Rivian and the other guys probably had a chance to catch up there,
yeah,
they're not doing that.
At least behind that guy.
I mean, I hope they're doing that. This is serious business here.
Sure. Is that Jeep on fire?
Holy crap.
Who would buy a Jeep?
It's mostly very weird people. I would never hang out with such a guy.
Alrighty, little update for you all. We're entering work zone here. We're going through Vail Pass. Of course, we went down the Eisenhower Tunnel into Silverthorne, past that, and doing well so far. The crew and the Model X still behind us, and I believe the crew and the Rivian and the Mercedes still quite a ways ahead. Apologies for that. Gotta slow down here. Trying to get as much brake blending as I can.
Yeah, everyone came to a stop. We're stuck in one lane behind trucks having to go slow.
Yeah, there's a bottleneck on Vail Pass. There must be some like road construction or some work going on here.
Yeah, I wonder if this is giving us a chance to catch up. So we got 40% battery. How far are we from
41? Getting some back here.
41, okay. How far are we from the
charger?
Yeah.
It should say here. So we're gonna ride there at 12:17, 73 miles. Our minimum is 76, because of course it's going way up since we're going downhill now. But we are in no way battery limited. So I was worried. I thought Glenwood Springs would be tight, but my confidence in the car is growing.
In the curves, there's a curve symbol here that appears next to highway assist. And that slows it down. Which I guess means it's safer in the corners, but yeah, I wish it would just keep me floored through the corners, because I know it can handle it, but maybe it doesn't know it can handle it. So it preemptively slows down about 5 miles an hour, which is cool and annoying. So there we go again, there's the curve symbol. And it says lane curve ahead or something. Yep, but it is a little ping-pongy, don't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. People, I think, slow down a little bit in turns. I mean, it depends on how much of a turn it is. But like here, for instance, that's...
It says slow down to 60, and so this is slowing down to 78, 77. It seems to be not a specific speed, it just slows down. Wow.
Yeah, this is too much now. It feels...
slow down 15 miles an hour to do that turn.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Okay, little update here. So things are looking classic Electrify America Glenwood Springs, because we've got 2 of our only 4 dispensers down. What else is new? And of course it is 11 o'clock and 2 of them are taken, so it's fully unavailable. And we're on an EV9, so we absolutely need 350 chargers. That's how we make this work. So I'm thinking, Dominic, we could bail out early, do Edwards, but that's 50 miles earlier than Glenwood Springs.
Right.
That's kind of accepting defeat. Or what we can do, Dominic, is go to Grand Junction and stretch it. Now, it's going to be tight, but we just ran some numbers. We are up at still 7,900 feet. That's down at 4,600. So we've got a few hill climbs, but net, we're losing enough elevation. The car thinks we have 124 average, 158 max, and what is Grand Junction's like 140 for us?
147, I believe.
Yeah, so we're going to be pushing it, but I think that's what puts us in the game. Is we just got to stretch at the Grand Junction. I was really not confident before, but EV9 has proven to be pretty efficient. I forgot how much we're really descending, how high we are at the moment, so I think that's the move.
Yeah.
And we're going to put in Electrify America Grand Junction. Can you check, by the way, what's the status of Electrify America Grand Junction?
So if I tap on that, Sam's Club, and cruise up. So we got the 150, two 150s, one 350 unavailable, another 350 unavailable.
Wait, are they both unavailable because they're in use, or are they offline?
It doesn't say offline. They're not. They don't have like the red. They're not in the red.
So that means they're in use, right? I believe.
It just says unavailable. Shoot.
The Rivian can, because of this isn't air limited, we're elevation limited. So their battery is going to give it the biggest advantage. So I know Jordan and Andreas will want to make the most of that with the first leg and stretch it as far as they can.
So they're going to Grand Junction too?
Yeah. But they can comfortably do that. We're going to be really stretching if we have to do it. So our decision comes down to the next 60 to 80 miles or 80 to 120. We need to figure out, do we stop at Glenwood Springs where the charger's full?
Right.
Or can we switch to the Grand Junction where the charger might also be full?
But they might be full, but they might be forced, if they get there early, to charge it at 150. And then the 350 could open up as...
It doesn't hurt them that much because of the way their car works. We are an 800-volt vehicle, so...
Yeah, we need 350.
Yeah.
All right, battery has started preconditioning. We are about, what is that, 127 miles away. This thing just wants to precondition way in advance.
Yeah.
Hopefully that energy doesn't hurt us too much, the energy it uses to precondition, but we'll see.
Drew, welcome to Glenwood Canyon. But how's the EQS doing? We've actually kicked it over into sport just to try it out. And,
yeah, just to tighten it up through these twisties here a little bit, and yeah, feels fine for a big fat SUV.
Yeah, great. Well, I think the sporting metric was not really factored in on this one.
No, and that's okay. That's
yes.
expected.
You can get a spicier version of this. The 580, I think, may even give you Sport Plus, or at least in the sedan, you can get a Sport Plus, but whatever. Nice, and we are still in the lead. We are now down to a 17% projected arrival into Grand Junction, which actually kind of feels about right. I think we made the right move.
Yep, yeah, for sure.
This is where the Kia is going to have to stop up here in Glenwood Springs, I think is their plan. And of course, like, it would be great if there was a charger another 50 miles past where we were going, but I think this makes sense. And since it's our first time charging the EQS, our plan is just to charge it until it starts to taper, and then at that point figure out what we're going to do next. I think Salina feels about right to me.
Yeah, if we can do Salina, that would be awesome. But yeah, we got to kind of figure out what the charging curve on this is.
Exactly. This is the first time we've ever run a race to Vegas in a vehicle we haven't had the chance to fully test yet. I've tested the pre-refresh battery, but not the post-refresh battery. But this is just a beautiful stretch of American highway. Very lucky to have it in our backyard. And yeah, what are we? 3 hours into our trip so far, and we're down to 40% state of charge. So anyone says that like EVs don't have enough range, I really don't know what they're talking about, because I gotta pee.
Right. That's the limit we're working with.
Yeah, and we still have another just under 2 hours left to go.
We're about 70 miles out from Glenwood Springs, and it's still full. That said, I like that it's a Target. Better place to go to the bathroom. We can get snacks there.
True.
So that's nice, just for our comfort. But for winning, if we can stretch to the Grand Junction and there's a 350 open, we're in business. We've got to, that's a great first leg.
Right.
The issue is we're going to be efficient, so I'm scrubbing the speed down low. I'm not using much power. The other issue I'm worried about is the Rivian folks are getting there, right? And Team Rivian, if they're at a 350, because we know they'll take a 350, even though they don't hugely need it, just to block it for us. There's only one 350 available. So we've got to hope that's open.
It really sucks that we don't have like a kilowatt rating of what power output is right now, you know?
Yeah, but you see a graph, it's enough. I'm just driving extremely conservatively, so I'll take advantage of speed when I can get it. Right now when we're going downhill.
Right.
And uphill, we're just gonna cruise in the right lane.
This is a cool canyon though.
Oh yeah, I love this. This is like amazing.
We are entering Glenwood Springs in the EQS. We're the first to get here. The rest of the crew is not far behind. This is where I'm guessing the EV9 is going to have to pull off and do their first charging stop, because it's another 90 miles to where we're going. Oh, yeah. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have to stop here. The Rivian for sure has enough range to make it. Model X is going to Parachute, which is almost to Grand Junction. They also have a couple of version 3 backups in between. So yeah, all good from us. We've got 38% passing Glenwood Springs. Plenty of juice to keep rocking.
All right, we have some good news. We finally caught up to the Kia. The EV9 is up ahead. We've been mapping, and we've been in last place ever since the start. But here we are. Currently, they're still ahead of us. And traffic has been really nice. We haven't really had to get stuck behind any trucks or trailers recently, yeah. So it's been
after Eisenhower Tunnel, I think it smoothed out a bit. There were a few moments here and there where we got caught behind someone for like 30 seconds or whatever, but nothing too bad.
Yeah. Hopefully that's what the Kia was going through, and that's why we're able to catch up with them.
Things have changed. Glenwood Springs has opened up. We see the Model X. They're about to pass us. They're right on our tail, so Ryan and Lacey have caught up. I think we could search the Grand Junction, but at this point, I'm demoralized because we're going to have to go so slow. They'll pass us. That leaves no advantage. Right now, we're at 23%. Okay, not as low as I'd like to be, but we can use our charge curve. We'll just deep charge here. I don't think there's any universe that it makes sense to make another stop between here and Green River. Do you know, Dominic?
No, we can't stop.
Glenwood Springs, we're doing it. It's 1:350 opened up, so it's our lucky day. Now, will it be enough for us to be in a good position here? Let's see. But Model X should be passing us soon. I'm going about as fast as I can. Let me pass this truck here, because we've got energy to burn. Right. But I do want to get there.
There are a few vehicles behind us now.
Yeah, you can see them. See if you can zoom in the rear view mirror.
Yeah, I couldn't get them. There were too many cars.
But they trust us. There's a red Model X on our tail.
Is that the X that we need?
Yep. We got energy to burn. I'm not too worried. All right.
Just keep it between the lines.
Yep. This is the worst part right here of the CCS experience compared to what Lacey and Ryan. I wonder if we'll see them straight pass here.
Up in here? Yep.
Yeah. Let's look for a Model X. They might have already passed us, but they don't have to deal with, I mean, this isn't too bad, but still, we're losing like, what, a couple of minutes here? Yeah, see, this is the issue, right? All these CCS stations are like a mile or two off the highway.
Right.
And it's not a big deal if you're going highway speeds, which you're not, of course. You're going in town where, you know, we got a 25 right now. Yeah, this is not fun. Okay, you filming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I just forgot for a second. It's the rear, right, on the EV9. Should have known that.
Rear passenger.
Yeah. We'll be fine. It's not a Tesla station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on. Okay. That's a flap. Okay.
So connecting to vehicle, updating, charging. So we started initiating the charge before we actually got to the charger.
Which is what we have to do.
Yeah.
And this is classic while it's initiating. Just look at this.
What's pretty cool?
We've got 2 on caution tape here. Just classic.
Yeah, this is Electrify America. This one, and we got another one over here, of course. That's not working. It's just down. Okay, 21 minutes left until 80%. I think we're gonna go to at least 80, right?
We have to deep charge to get the Green River, yeah. So at least 80, I think like 85, maybe we can go a little lower. So we have enough time to go to the bathroom, get Philip and Target, let's figure out next steps. But let's make sure first we're getting one, here these screens suck, but 120.
Yeah, 127 right now.
Okay, good.
130.
Let's see us go over 150.
143. Okay, we're ramping up 148. 156. It should go up to what?
240 is the maximum on these. We should get pretty much that. On this bigger battery, it might be slightly lower. Right. Okay, we'll check it. I gotta go to the bathroom, so we'll update you later.
All right.
How did it get so hot?
I don't know.
It's hot out.
It is hot out, 90 degrees.
So just so you know, the Rivian targets a 72 degree Fahrenheit average battery pack temperature on arrival. That's what it's trying to precondition to.
Wow. Okay. It's not doing a very good job.
So when you do the video, you know, it's going to be right in the middle of the gauge is where it tries to get to for charging.
Yep.
Crazy, you haven't even charged and you're too hot.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you in the next, you know, we're less than 1 hour from the charger. You're not going to cool down in time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The Model X is probably 5 to 7 minutes behind us.
Okay.
And the EV9's charging.
All right, time to make it or break it for EV9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you get a good session. What if I can log into my EA app and cancel their charge? Oh, they're ripping. They're already up to 60% doing 218 kilowatts.
Nice.
Must be nice.
So they've got a lot more energy than we have now.
So Jordan, we've come up with a plan.
Yep, so we are passing through Parachute right now, which there is a V3 supercharger accessible to Rivians in Parachute. We thought about it, but then we were like, you know what? That could mean a 4-stop trip. It still could be, but like, this would guarantee needing a 4-stop trip. This would also mean probably going to Green River next, which we're trying to avoid. Like, we're just trying to avoid EA if we can. So we are going to go, unfortunately, off the highway a bit in Grand Junction to the Rivian Adventure Network charger. That'll be the one RAN network, or I guess it is network. That's the one RAN stop of this whole trip. Yeah. Us and the Mercedes are stopping at Grand Junction, which is a bummer. So, because of just how far it is off the highway.
Okay, we are currently approaching Parachute. We'll be there in about 10 minutes or so. Here's the beautiful scenery here. Almost at our first stop. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Everything went pretty smoothly. We're arriving with 11% state of charge, so we should see 250 kilowatts right when we plug in. And hopefully be a pretty quick stop then.
He's gonna pop the port. I'm gonna run out, get the charger.
Okay, Dominic's driving and wolfing down some pepperoni, so hero here. But yeah, we've got Green River as our next stop, so we might have overcharged slightly. I was thinking, you know, it is in the desert, I like to have buffer. We're gonna go max speed now, because our range is 260, and I think it's only like 186 to get there. I think we just overcharged a bit. But, you know, that's the thing about EVs now. Hopefully these videos help people understand, like, we ran in there, went to the bathroom, we got Pizza Hut, and we still might have...
We didn't have to wait for them.
Yeah.
We just took a pizza off the shelf and grabbed it.
It took, like, we were in Target for no longer than like 6-7 minutes at the longest, really.
Right.
A total charge stop, probably around 10 minutes, right? And already we're, you know, more than enough to go another 2.5 hours to Green River. That's amazing.
We're so close. You think they're gonna turn right? Can you zoom past? Yeah. Oh, the beauty of an electric vehicle. Whoa, look at all these stations. They've got so many. Here we go, whip it.
Sorry.
Knock over the water bottles quick. Seatbelt undone. Explode water everywhere. All right, go. Oh no, come on. Here we go. Oh! Whoa, that's tight. Okay. Didn't have to adjust. He is a little far over the line.
It stopped. Didn't go in all the way. Do I need to go back more? Yeah, sorry.
No! All right, here we go.
There we go.
Precious seconds we lost there.
There we go. It's ramping up.
I mean, that was our first stop, so we're gonna have to improve the process a little bit. Nice, here we go. 210, 218. There we go. Awesome, and this is us in Parachute. We'll be here about 20 or so minutes.
The Tesla Model X has arrived into Parachute to charge. They were at like 10-ish%, maybe 12%. I have all the cars in the app so I can see what everyone's doing. The Kia had a monster charging session based off the looks of that.
Yeah, they seem to be kind of in the lead as far as like how great of a charging session that looked to have been.
Just we checked in at almost 70%. They were doing about 220 kilowatts.
Yeah.
So that's
hard to beat.
Better than any of the other cars here. Hopefully their thermals work well. It seems like that first charging stop was good. We talked to the Rivian crew. Their battery pack's already warm on the way to the charger. I mean, it's warm out, but they've been preconditioning for like an hour on the way to the charger. I don't think the Mercedes tells us when it's preconditioning, but we put it in the charger, and I do have automatic preconditioning active, so it will, no, temperature control, now it's active.
Oh, hey. All right.
Holy smokes, okay. So I have this energy saving active, and this might have killed our preconditioning, because that's going to use...
Going to the eco...
Yeah, so energy driving functions may have done the high voltage temp control to off. But now it's on, so we're good.
Sure.
We don't want eco charging. That limits us to 100 kilowatts. That's how we lose.
Oh god, no.
Don't give us any of that crap.
Yeah, a lot of things to learn about. Like you change one thing and you change other things. That's like, yeah.
But I think we're getting more comfortable with the system in the car, and like really appreciating, to me at least, the depth of ways you can go. But Drew and I were just talking, like the EQS is made for old people, and how are old people ever going to figure this out?
Oh man, I mean, it's like so many layers deep if you want to go into all the menus and then change this tiny little setting and stuff, but I mean, it would take hours of messing around on a screen. And yeah, it seems a little funny. We need this in like, you know, Tesla vehicles or like,
Yeah, so once you get, we were saying like once AI is really good and you can just describe what you want to do, you can ask for very specific functions, but if you're like, hey, I want to get to this road trip as quickly as possible and arrive at 5% of chargers, whatever, then that will save a lot of the headache of digging through the menus, which we have the state of charge on arrival set to the lowest arrival that the route planner will let us go to, which is 10%. It used to be like 3%. In the recent software update, they made it now 10.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's lame. Yeah, used to have been great. Yeah, should be 1. If I have energy, let me use all of it. Cool. So we now should be preconditioning, but I still don't think the car tells us when it's doing that.
We can see temps though, yeah?
Nope.
Oh, we can't?
Only in the AMG.
Oh.
We don't have the AMG. It doesn't show temperatures.
Okay, Dominic's comfortable now at highway speed, getting used to the highway driving assist system in the EV9. What do you think?
You know, I don't know. So it's got some pluses and minuses. I'm not sure if I fully trust some of the steering. Does it keep you anchored to the center of the lane sometimes, especially on the turns?
You gotta kind of boost it yourself, yeah.
Yeah, so...
These are, to be fair, this is like, you know, winding part of I-70 still. Most of the country in the US is not quite like this.
Right.
But yeah, it's not the most aggressive.
But I'm used to, like, in my Tesla, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yep.
You know, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But this is not quite that, which I kind of thought it was, but...
Yeah, no, we found in our hogback that this system is kind of dangerous and that, like, it will work very confidently until it just doesn't. And then it just, you know, you have no idea. There's no warning. It just doesn't do it.
So you have to be ready to go all the time. This is not a hands-off system by any stretch.
No. We're quite decently in last, but I'm not too worried because they've obviously got to stop in Grand Junction. I'm assuming that's where they're charging.
Right.
At least in the case of... I don't really know Tesla Land. We'll have to check where Ryan's going because he's in between us. But Kyle and Andreas, or Jordan, they're leading the pack in the Rivian and the Tesla. Now, the Rivian's a wild card. They could really charge anywhere, essentially, right? As long as it's not a V2 supercharger. So I'm not sure. And then Kyle, I know for sure he has to stop in Grand Junction. I don't think there's another option. As much range as the EQS has, there's no way. I mean, between Grand Junction and Green River, there's really nothing.
No, yeah, they've got to
charge
for that.
Yeah, so he's going to be charging pretty soon. I'm not sure. These locations updated a few minutes ago. We'll keep checking in with you, but basically, I'm anticipating we're going to leapfrog them within the next 20 minutes, and hopefully we build enough of a lead that, you know, it's decisive by then.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yep.
So walk me through the numbers. What are we doing? How long are we going to be here?
So first things first, let's talk about last charge. We did 263 miles, just about 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. I have this in service mode, and we can see the battery is scorching hot. I don't have the AC running, so that all of the cooling capacity is going to cooling the battery. Hopefully that will get us as good of a charging curve as possible. It does seem like we're following the typical charging curve, which is solid down low and then pretty aggressive taper. A bit under 150 kilowatts at 50%, which is looking like that'll be right about where we're at.
Well, wait, I'm kind of confused because wasn't the whole advantage that we had that we'd be charging at like 250 most of the time and then leave when it wasn't at that?
So we're charging as much as we can at 250, but we need to charge enough to get to the next destination, which is going to be Green River. Right now I'm using a better route planner to plan that out and make sure I know how much charge we need to get there. So it says that we need 50%, or we'll use 50% of our battery to get to Green River. I want to have a little bit of a buffer, and additionally, we know that below about 10% state of charge, this car doesn't charge at 250 kilowatts. It's a slow ramp up. So ideally, we want to arrive somewhere close to 10% state of charge. But that'll mean we do have to spend some time charging above 50%. So we'll have to sit tight for just a little bit, but we'll be able to head out to Green River pretty soon.
Okay, so... All right, so we're at 47% now, and you said it kicks down after about like 38 or so, 35-ish percent. Okay, so that makes sense, but it jumps all the way down to like 150. Okay, so then what percentage did you want to leave at?
I'm thinking right around 60%. I also am going to see what Tesla has to say. So it's predicting we need 55% state of charge. So.
Okay, so we'll get there in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So right when it hits about 55 or so.
We're going to want to stay a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And additionally, something that I've found in the races to Vegas is it's worth it to stay at the charger just a little bit longer. Oftentimes, we want to get out of the charger as quickly as we can, and then we end up with not quite enough battery and we got to slow down for the last 50 or so miles. And what I found over the races is usually it's worthwhile to just stick around, get the extra charge. Sure, we may not be arriving at 0%, but if we're arriving at 6-7% or something and able to go the speed limit plus 10 the entire time, that's usually pretty big advantage.
If Kyle was driving the Tesla, he would probably leave at like 55%.
He would.
He'd risk it.
Exactly.
So then he'd have to drive slower when he got to the next charging station.
Just to make it to the next one, yeah.
Yeah, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go full speed ahead. Kyle really gassed me up in the beginning, and he's like, oh, the Tesla Model X is definitely going to win, like it really should. Higher efficiency, better charging. We did get a slow start.
Yeah,
so
that was rough.
I personally have no idea where we're going to be at, because I feel like he might have just been saying that to convince me to like join this trip. So we have this cooling rag here because apparently these handles get really hot to the touch. So can I feel it without the rag?
Should be not too bad.
That feels fun.
Yeah.
That feels pretty cool.
Yeah, the rag helps a ton. So.
Helps a ton. That makes, yeah. Right when we pulled in and plugged it in, we put that rag there to cool it down. So I'll be driving the next leg, which will be about 3 or so hours. Maybe it kicks down a lot. Guys, we're good.
Great, let's go.
And we're off. So we'll see you guys when we're in Green River, Utah.
We are pulling into Grand Junction, and now we have to slow down to 80 on the brakes. The problem with Grand Junction, this is why we were trying to avoid it, but there's really no way, is this is like 10 minutes off the highway in this direction, but then we can jump on the highway, or at least this high-speed road, to get back this way. So it really only kills us coming from this direction, and then it's a relatively high-speed road as we head to the west.
What's our exit?
Our exit should be Horizon Drive.
Just making sure.
Yeah, so now we are, yeah, no, that's all good. So we are at 13% state of charge at the moment. So Route Planner really took a crap at the end there.
Yeah.
It said 20% for the longest time, and then it was like 15, 14, 15, 14, and now 12.
Right.
But we've been driving very consistently.
Right, yeah. So what changed or what didn't it anticipate?
Maybe the AC usage, because we're now at 95 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's hot. Not sure, but nice, making moves through here. So, yep, we're basically just going to have to cruise through the city. Jordan and Andreas have to do the same thing. So let's get over to that charger. I mean, there is a DC charger here, but it is literally a 62 kilowatt single post, and this would just ruin the entire trip. So we have to go over to the high power port, and a Lightning is using that one. So, yep, 3 of 4 available at EA. Fingers crossed we get one of the 350s, because again, we need 500 amps, and that's the 350 kilowatt station.
All right, so we're getting a 570 here.
Yeah, so we were trusting the Rivian route planning, I guess, which was not correct.
Actually, this is the exit we always take.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now it just updated, and it saved minutes and percentage.
Wow.
So Rivian's route planner was taking us a horrible route, apparently, and we are getting around.
Woo! Another round.
A little bit of a tire squeal there. Here's the issue. It's been preconditioning for 2 hours almost, and it hasn't done a thing. So I don't know what their preconditioning is really doing. I mean, maybe the battery would have been even more hot, so maybe it was like keeping it from getting hot, but I just don't really know. But those are the temperatures. Front motor is nice and toasty, because that's the one that does most of the work on the highway and the efficiency running. Whereas the EQS runs the rear motor in that scenario, which is kind of interesting. That Kia Soul looks really good. I've never said that before. I've never said those words. But we are at 5% state of charge upon leaving the highway. So,
yep,
we are getting there, but we are almost to the charger.
Wow. Oh, busy.
Whoa.
I hope there's
Are there any available?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Dude, I cannot believe this. We are waiting in line.
What? There's one, but it's out of service.
There's a Rivian station that is broken. I've never seen this. Oh,
this is
no!
Insane.
4 of 6 chargers available. So it literally doesn't know what's going on.
4 of 4 available is currently, we want station number 2. That is the one with 2 350 kilowatt cables available. Of course, you can only use one at one time. The station number 3 has 1 cable out of service. And so I'm thinking things are going to be good here. I'm hoping we can get a good charging session, because we certainly risked coming off the highway, but this will save us the Green River risk. And so I think the extra couple minutes it took to get over here kind of balances out with the Model X apparently getting stuck behind a train.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see. It's quite off the beaten path.
Yeah, this is where we go through the parking lot and get over to the charger. Nice. On limit handling, front wheel spin on the way in. Oh, there is a car. Oh no, the 2 stations we need are blocked. Oh no, Ionix leaving or pulling in. How is this possible? Can we ask the Nero to use literally any other station?
We just plug in here and get.
You're gonna have to back in. We need this station right there. Let me do some negotiations. Okay, so just did some negotiations. The Kia people were nice enough to switch to the 150 for us, and then the EQS will come in and we should get full power. So let me get off my phone, get this thing connected. Hopefully it all goes well. Having issues initiating a charge. Maybe this is the one with 1 cable down. It says both available. I don't know if that was a good sound. Yes, processing payment.
Nice.
So now we charge it for the first time. So, man, how is that possible that they were all available and we had to, the people in the Kia did not want to move.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, you gotta move.
You're in a Nero,
like,
dude.
We're taking the cable either way. We just got the noise that said it was charging. So if we come here to EQ and charging, 13 kilowatts, 15.
Let's go, let's go.
We have climate on because I think this car should be able to handle it. Slow ramp up. Come on, Mercedes, let's roll. 47 kilowatts. Faster than a Bolt.
Come on, speeding up a little bit. Just jump right up, please.
Can you just say, I want this power, and wham. Okay, now it's going faster. We're faster than a 150 kilowatt station would be on this battery pack now. So now we won't leave until we taper at minimum. And then if it tapers before we will make Salina. Climate just shut off. charging. We are not charging. It just went to 0 kilowatts. Are you kidding me?
It's like the car died.
What the heck? It was crazy. We only got 3 kilowatt hours before it died. What the heck was that all about?
Yeah, I don't know. That's not good. That's not good.
So the screen fans are on. I just want to get it charging first and then turn the car on. There we go. Now it's charging. Car is on. Still charging. Okay. Car's technically off, but we have accessory power. Now we're on full power. So I guess we're here for the slow ramp up. Okay, Salina, let's go.
Yeah, so 205 miles.
But huge elevation.
Right.
Especially towards the end of the drive. To get here, we did 301.2 miles.
Okay.
So we did 300 miles with 12% remaining, and we drove pretty quickly. Now the station's getting full. Look, this is the last one. We got so lucky on this.
So lucky. Thank God that guy was...
Yeah, I mean...
Just one click more of a douche.
Right, yeah, exactly. But now we're only doing 150 kilowatts. How is that possible? We just were doing 180.
Yeah, well, we're up over 190, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We were close to 200 kilowatts. Now we're doing 157. So still figuring this out. And now it says charging station limited. And Andreas is calling. Let's see how they're doing. How are things going for you?
Check this out.
Oh, you faced
all full and one down.
Oh, you're waiting.
All full, one is broken.
Oh my God! And we're down to someone moving.
Is he leaving? Maybe not yet. Yeah, I think he's unplugging, right? Oh, yeah, he's unplugging. Yes. Okay.
Oh, this station's full, and yeah, we were getting 200 kilowatts, but now we're only getting 160 after we had a fault of some kind.
Okay.
But at least we're sitting at 160 kilowatts. I'll take it.
All right, so someone luckily left.
So glad. Okay.
Let's plug in.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Success.
Nice.
Charge.
All right, beer.
All right, what's happening? Authorizing. Come on, man.
Authorize faster.
I love how they say max power 300 kilowatt, but you can't even give your own vehicles 300 kilowatt. Starting. Okay.
Go.
So, our battery is still at 91 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not great. A precondition for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Didn't really get anywhere. So, starting, this may take a moment. Not the handshake that Tesla had. You'd think a whole inclusive situation like this would have a 6-second handshake like Tesla, but I guess not.
Sure, okay.
Ramping up. I'm glad they do have these tiny little screens. Better than no screen at all.
Yeah. Let's see.
And we're at 26 kilowatts. Pulled in with 4% state of charge. Slowly ramping up. Oh man.
Full station here. Pretty cool trailer there. And no drivers inside in all 4 cars. So those are probably gonna be sitting here for a while. So 90 kilowatts. Yeah, do you think it's station limited with 5 trucks being plugged in?
Here we are.
Yeah.
Not charging fast.
Not much we can do now. Just staying plugged in.
So unfortunately, this has been us for the past few minutes. And the EV9 has caught up to us, unfortunately, because of this, which is a bummer.
Yeah, right as we were approaching all these cars, or all these vehicles, the semi pulled out in front of us to pass these canoes, and now the semi is like you said, just maybe 1 mile faster than these vans over here. So I see the EV9 in my rearview mirror, big sad face, but I'm gonna try and speed past this car. Not exceeding the 10-mile-per-hour limit, but oh my gosh, this is frustrating.
Okay, Dominic, we have worked our way up. We didn't leapfrog them. They left Parachute, the Tesla supercharger there, just ahead of us. That, of course, being Ryan and Lacey. I think traffic might have slowed them down a bit more.
Right,
now
we had traffic issues, but...
Yeah, we've discovered that the Rivian and the EQS SUV are both in Grand Junction, and of course the EQS is Electrify America. I think the Rivian's at Iran. It's Rivian Adventure Network. So they just sent us a funny photo. We'll have to put it in here, but in the video. But yeah, it's full of Rivians with bikes and stuff on them. One of them's towing a trailer. So all of them being used. So that's great.
Yeah, they're dropping below 75.
Oh. It's getting intense. Oh my god.
Okay.
It looks like they're not letting us pass them.
Yeah.
We are on the way just before Grand Junction, and we've got a EV9 hot on our tail.
Yeah, I had to be a little bit aggressive with that.
Lacey's been doing
I've been doing 10 over, and they're trying to pass. If they do that, then they exceed the 10-mile limit that we set. So, if anything, it's a service to them to not cheat. So, yeah, they're trying to pass us. They're right behind us.
Yeah, Lacey's been doing some pretty expert navigation.
Drew, I know why our charging session faulted. The EV9 is also hooked up to my account, and so I told Max to use the free EV9 charging. So when I tapped my card, it defaulted to the EV9 plan, and it took EA about a minute or whatever to figure out, hey, this is not an EV9.
Give you 3 kilowatt hours first.
You're not in the voltage range. So now I hope I'm paying for this. Sorry for the $1.60 we stole from you, EA. But what's weird is we're only getting 160 kilowatts.
That's strange. And you saw a notice, charging station limited?
Yeah, that's what this symbol means,
Okay,
I think.
Gotcha.
There's a graph of them.
There we go.
But this one doesn't describe it properly. So 205 miles, I say we charge to 55%, maybe 60%. 60, 65%. A B-Class electric. No way.
Oh, nice. Where's yours?
Broken. I do own a Mercedes electric. Now we're down to 150 kilowatts. What is going on here? I say we shut this car off.
Might as well try. See, 151.
But the thing is, at the Rivian station, they're going to be confused. If there's 3 stalls per cabinet, they are limited to 100 kilowatts because it's 300 kilowatts shared across 3 posts.
Right. They just need to have a worse charging session than we do.
But it'll help them with their thermals. Yeah, we're going to do better than they are. Damn.
As long as
it's off to an interesting start already.
Yep, no kidding.
That's these Race to Vegases. It's all infrastructure, strategy, and vehicle, of course, but
it isn't over till it's over.
Yeah, I just don't understand why we would be limited to 150 kilowatts after we're just doing 160. There's no way that's the curve. Well, we can't figure out why it's limiting other than this being burning red hot. So we'll try. Maybe it works on EA, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But it's like it's raining out, so
right. I just imagine it's raining, everybody.
Yep.
Relax.
So 152 kilowatts. 142. Oh, not good.
Oh, take it back, take it back.
That's actually really funny. I have no idea why we'd be limiting.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, this got quite a bit cooler just there. So what I don't understand is this person plugged in their Ioniq at like 60%. They're already at 80. So once she leaves, I think we swap.
Okay, yeah.
Because right now we're getting everything that 350 will give us. I thought the Aria was pulling in. I guess they didn't. No idea why we're down to 142 kilowatts. I'm hoping this woman in the Ioniq 5 can get the heck out of here as soon as possible so we can switch stalls to the other 350. No reason to switch to a 150 now for just a few kilowatts. It would be pretty close, but damn, we need some 200 kilowatt action here.
All right, so we just sat here for a bit in misery with less than 100 kilowatt charging. It's finally jumped up to 146. That's still not very good.
It's not good, no. But it's Colorado, not Missouri.
And we changed, like we tried Climate Off on, like didn't make a difference. They went down. Maybe we took 50 of their kilowatts because they went down to where we were. But just looking ahead here, we have, it says 47 minutes. I guess we have to charge to 85% to get to Richfield. That's crazy. We may not be able to do that. So if we end the trip and just go to Resorts World in Las Vegas, that should automatically add 2 more stops, which is great. We're trying to avoid 4 total stops, and we are fine with that. This still says a deep, now it's saying charge to 91%.
Oh my God.
Nothing makes sense. Why are they so inconsistent?
Okay, not to gloat too much, but the crew in Grand Junction, that being, of course, Kyle in the R1S, Kyle and Drew, and Jordan and Andreas in the R1S, both of them have full stations. So even though they have dispensers available, they're both power shared, both the Rivian and the Electrify America seemingly, or maybe the vehicle's limiting. But basically, the Rivian was getting 90 kilowatts, just got to 140. That should be able to do 200. They're pretty low in the pack, so that's not great.
Rivian should do like 220, I believe.
Oh yeah, and the EQS didn't say what they're doing, but they're sharing with an Ioniq 5, one of our brothers, and we know how those charge, so they're getting shared power. So that's good news for both us and the Model X with Lacey and Brian in front of us. I think we're going to be able to leapfrog them.
I don't understand, Drew, but we keep losing charging performance when the car should still be able to take 200 kilowatts. It's got to be a charging situation. The AC cooling even shut off on the EQS. It was like, I'm good.
Right.
Yeah. So once the Ioniq's done full charging over here, she's at 96%, I think.
At least they're in the vehicle.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's, if you are going to full charge, that's the car to full charge.
Yeah, sure.
Good curve. I'm going to run it in P, but you can swap it over when she leaves.
Back here at Rivian Adventure Network, it is funny. We saw this lady over here unplug the wrong Rivian because they're all silver and they're all the same.
Up to 200.
And our charging speed is ramping up. The reason being, these are shared. So these three, I believe, are shared. Those three are shared. So like average of 100 per, like up to 300 for shared 3 cabinets. Yeah. So the fact that one unplugged there means just 2 trucks are sharing. He's got high state of charge next to us, so we are finally pulling full speed, which is still not great. So that is a bummer though. People are showing up to these Rivian stations thinking they're going to get like 200 kilowatts lower in the pack, and that's not likely on days like today where everyone's traveling.
Yeah, and we're ramping down again. I think because she plugged in again. So this lady next to us, we think just unplugged the wrong Rivian by accident. So,
but I think these 3 are shared.
But these 3?
Yeah, so I think we're ramping down now because of thermals.
Just ran in to use the restroom. The EA station is completely full. We got so lucky. And even though we're not getting 200 kilowatts, don't know what's going on. We have no option to move. The Ioniq somehow is still here. I have no idea what's going on there. That's crazy. So the Rivian just got up to 200 kilowatts. I'm not sure if others unplugged or what happened, but they are officially charging faster than us. We should be getting close to getting ready to go. I think we really need to make sure we make it to Salina, so I'll check on the in-car route planning and double check all of our stuff there. But fingers crossed we'll make that. And yeah, holy smokes, this is getting exciting. We got so screwed on this charging session, but we're past 50% now. We've put in 43 kilowatt hours in 18 minutes. Not the end of the world. Still holding about 135 kilowatts, okay? And yeah, let's see how things are going in here.
They're still at 96.
I can't believe they're still here charging. So we're at 49%. So we're getting pretty close to getting ready to go. So 205 miles. It says 156 based off how we were driving, and it is a high speed section.
Sure, high speed and uphill, so
maybe we charge even deep. At 130 kilowatts though. We can't do this and Green River. Both off the highway.
No, right.
Yeah. And now we've got a line with a Bolt.
Yeah, at least if we're doing this, we're committing to this and then going all the way to Salina.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to eat this charging session.
Okay, Dominic, so us and our Caravan, right, the Tesla that we're drafting off of, we just passed Kyle and Andreas. So those groups are both experiencing limited charging. Everything's full. Right. So in a way, it's kind of good that we stopped early at a station that, if anything, EA's failure with having 2 of those cabinets blocked off meant that I think each got their own power cabinet or something, because we were not power limited. We got a good charge, and we got in at just the right time. Because it just...
I was just going to say, if that one station had been up and powered, there was a ID4 that came in just after we got there. If they plugged in, it might have brought our speed down too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, if we'd got into... getting here, right? They'd be slow, we'd be waiting on them. It'd be a disaster if we got to Grand Junction, if we stretched it, right? And we'd have gone slow speed, and we'd have lost the race at that point. So I think that was really fortuitous that we did that.
Yeah.
Now, next steps, everyone's going to Green River. There's a Tesla station there. It's the only thing we can do. There's like a charging desert for both CCS and Tesla.
For like 100 miles or something.
Yeah, it's quite a crazy radius in Utah. So,
Right.
but Salina, which we thought would definitely be our third stop,
Right.
I think because we have such a good charge curve, we not only hold a decent peak, we have an amazing overall curve. I think the only thing that really could compete is maybe the Mercedes, but I don't know it too well, right? Because they're power limited.
Right.
I think we go to Cedar City. We stretch it to there.
Yeah, makes sense. That's so, yeah. Do we look at what kind of charging they have in Cedar City? Like
Yeah,
how many stalls? Or?
It's an 4 stalls, normal EA, 350 units, and it has a 10 plug score. So I'll check this app status as we get closer. Once, that's a concern for us, but right now it looks good.
Okay, so we got service mode pulled up here, and 42 degrees Celsius is the high voltage maximum cell temperature. About over 110 Fahrenheit. It's annoying that they don't actually show battery temperature while you're charging. I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. But back here in service mode, that shows, oh, I have to go back again. Okay, well, if you want to know how service mode is done, service mode, toggle service mode, tap this 5 times, go to ride, tap this 5 times, there we go, 33748, now we're in service mode again. Yeah, high voltage battery is fairly warm, and battery voltage about 410-ish volts, maximum available current 500 amps, so yeah, we're just chilling here. Nothing we can really do, so I guess quick bathroom break because we just did like a 5-hour drive non-stop.
That's it.
Nice. All right, we're just gonna pull as much power as we can and hope no one plugs in there to slow us down. That would be nice because I think we are pulling as much power as we can given the conditions.
I think we have to do a pretty deep charge here, Drew, because first of all, the car won't tell us what we need to charge to make it at 10%. There's no way it's 100% state of charge.
No way.
Normally the car would say charge to like 64%. You'll make it there at 10.
Yeah, it's not clear how you do this.
Right.
205 miles to get there at 10%. Okay, so what do I do now?
What do you need for that to happen?
Right.
I'm just looking at the wind here going right now, pretty light, but as time goes on, it gets much stronger.
Yep.
And we're talking 20-mile-an-hour headwinds, 25-mile-an-hour headwinds.
Pretty significant.
Plus the increase in elevation. Now, we're still doing 140 kilowatts, which is just slow and slow.
Sure.
And we are having the worst charging performance of anyone on this trip so far, thanks to this lady in the Ioniq 5. I'm blaming her. But I'm actually blaming EA.
Yeah, I mean, we should be doing 200, right? Yep. We should be sitting at 200.
Even still here, I think Max was saying this thing could rip 200 kilowatts. So I think that would mean this symbol, and then maybe this means battery temperature, because that's a new one that's just popped up.
Yeah.
Maybe that means direct charging. Now it's battery temperature. I wish I knew. Oh yeah.
So that's battery temperature. That's different.
So this is the one that we did see.
So that's confirming station.
Oh, so this is battery temperature.
Right.
So we don't have a battery temperature issue.
Right.
We have a charging curve. So this is saying we're coming into our charging curve now.
Gotcha. So now this is getting to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then this is the maximum available charging power of a charging station is displayed on the navigation map and directly at the charging station. It might be lower than what your vehicle can accept. So that is saying this is charger limited. We won't get full power, but we're still charger limited.
Yep.
So I'm guessing as we come into the curve, that one will go away and we'll keep that display.
Keep that one.
Just a guess. This is a little confusing.
Yeah. Good guess, I think. I'm with you.
Okay. You need to be like a engineer to figure this car out.
Yeah, you have to think in a different way for sure.
And now we've gone, I love how this lady's just 99%. Oh, gosh.
Make sure you get that last
drip of juice. She plugged in so high too, like you can make it to any station in any direction. Whatever. We're not here to judge other people's charging habits too much.
Who knows what their plan is?
Yeah, we don't know what they're doing. And certainly if they're charging, they have a right to charge. Which is why we would never ask someone who's plugged in to move. I got to him before he plugged in. So let's say the car will do 300 miles on a full charge, maybe 290 miles on a full charge instead of the 370 it does at 70.
Sure. Yep. Okay. Yep. Something like that.
205 divided by 290, we would need 70%. So we're at 63. So we're just about to cross the predicted range, which hopefully is looking at the navigation as well.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, you'd hope it's taking everything into consideration.
Right. And so it's saying 201, 202. And that little wiggle makes me think it is processing something.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I like it. 70.
We have figured out the Mercedes symbols. We're no longer station limited because we've matched our charging curve.
Yep.
So at 69%, we're at 143 kilowatts. That's what the car wants. That's a fat curve.
Now that we understand the hieroglyphics.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe them. You should be able just to tap on this and it tell you why it's there.
Sure, yeah.
But
there's going to be a long list of suggestions, I'm feeling, at the end of this trip.
I think so, for sure. 2 more percent, so it shows 220 miles.
Sweet.
Okay, it's ticked up to 11%, which means we needed to charge to exactly what we are right now to get there at 10, but we're going to go fast, and we'll have a headwind. Yeah. So perfect. I'm going to unplug, and then we're ready to roll, all right?
Good.
Okay, so... And the Ioniq just left. 31 minutes, 73 kilowatt hours. So let's go.
You go get in the driver's seat.
Okay, I'm gonna get in the driver's seat. Drew's gonna unplug us. Car on. Charger cable connected. Car on. Car on. There we go, on. In a drive. Eco. Drive, go. Oh my gosh, the throttle is so soft in eco mode.
Yeah, it's really bad.
But rear steer is nice. All right, here's this. So that charging session sucked ass, technical term. And wow, just infuriating how long that took. Just over a half hour for never getting even, we got 200 kilowatts and then it bricked itself. In situations like that, I'm not sure if we should have restarted the charging session and gone through that or just stuck with what we had.
I think we made the right decision there. That seemed a full station, as hot as it is, and just, yeah. I don't think we would have gotten much more.
Yeah. So we should go by the Rivian Adventure Network site. The question is, will we make it out before the R1T or not? Because the Kia and the Tesla are ahead.
Yep.
We may never catch up to them.
Yeah, I don't. They'll need our bad luck.
Yeah, exactly. Unless one of them has an issue. But that Model X, if they can keep it in that power band.
Right.
But Green River's slow. Green River's 150 kilowatts for them, which is basically what we just had.
Sure.
So maybe we're actually not out.
Yeah. No, it's
too early to tell.
Yeah, we need a couple charging sessions under our belts to see how things going to pan out.
Yeah. I see the R1S. We're out before them. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. See you guys.
All right, not last place.
Okay, hey, this is, and we had, you know, they had really bad luck there. They had to wait.
Sure.
Then they plugged in, got 100 kilowatts.
Yep.
Because I have the R1S on my app, I saw 150, okay. So I'm guessing someone else unplugged.
Yep.
And then another one unplugged and they got 200.
Okay,
or nice. They were sharing with one that was almost full.
Sure.
That's the problem with the Rivian Adventure Network. You need dedicated high power. No one in a Rivian wants to sit at 100 kilowatts.
Yeah, no, that's going to take a long time.
That's not a good design.
Another day, another food tour throughout the U.S. with Andreas and Jordan. Dave couldn't make it, sadly, but he's here in spirit. Anyways, yeah, not actually really eating here, just stopping. We've had some good snacks in the car.
Yeah.
Pringles, pro tip, fit perfectly in the Rivian cup holders.
They're leaving though. Oh my
gosh. We're the only remaining Rivian, which means we should have full power, even though we're approaching top of the pack. So we've decided to try to do a deeper charge and just go for Richfield. It's not like ideal, but also we just don't have great charging speeds on this thing.
Yeah.
So I think we'd rather just charge a little deeper here. We'll minimize our stops because every stop really does add up tremendously.
Exactly.
So this thing's decently efficient. We're just gonna keep, I mean, not great efficiency, but we're just gonna keep trudging along. We are still doing 150 kilowatts, so that's pretty great. Left it on pet mode in here, but 65% state of charge. Right now, I think that's about when it starts to significantly taper. So we'll see. If speeds like really taper down, it might be worth it. We were debating on stopping in Green River, but that adds another 5-ish minutes of
pulling off the highway, plugging in, all that stuff.
And risky if it doesn't work, you know, I never know.
Yeah, and then, yeah, like, will it work? I mean, it should. Things seem to be working fine, but it's crazy. It's like, would the average person pay attention to this versus what the truck can actually do? Like, I feel like most people would be like, oh, 220 miles to Richfield, let's unplug because we have 265 miles of range. But no, you literally don't have that much range, so that's the bummer here. But glad we're finally pulling full speeds. Everyone's gone. It's just luck, the luck of the draw. We pulled up and every single charger was full.
That I really did not.
That I did not foresee that, and neither did this. It said 4 chargers available and all were taken, so that's not ideal.
But it's also not ideal. We are last now.
We are last place.
So Kyle.
Lovely.
Oh, actually, so Kyle is. I'm not sure if this is updated. Yeah. So they are ahead of us. Everyone's ahead of us now. So
everyone's ahead of us.
That's the Minecraft. That's us.
Dang.
And yeah.
Well, here we are again, Andreas. Last place.
Yeah. Let's just not run out of charger, maybe.
Yeah. Let's just not die this time.
All right, we are entering Utah, leaving Colorado. Dominic, how are we feeling?
We're feeling pretty good, actually. Yeah, things are looking up. We're still behind the Tesla. They're going to stop. We're all stopping in the same town, but
Green River is our only choice.
Yeah, but they have to go to a Tesla supercharger. We're going to go to the CCS. There's one 350 kilowatt
charger, which is great news, because if it's available, we'll get it, and if it's not available, we'll figure out, we'll barter with someone, we'll get it, and then we'll be ahead of Andreas and definitely and Kyle, because the EQS, they left a few minutes ago, and the Rivian is just leaving now. So at this point, we've built up I think 8 to 9 at least mile buffer. Okay. So we're a good bit ahead of them. Okay, Dominic, I just checked the OBD app, and our battery is spicy. As we can expect, it is what outside?
It's 100 degrees.
Whoa.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, so we've come down from the mountains. What is that, like 30 something Celsius, 35, I don't know.
100 degrees, that's 34, 35,
yeah.
35, 36.
And the battery is only slightly above ambient, but it is up there. It's 35 and 36. So the battery's a little warm.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Which is usually good for charging, fast charging, but maybe it might be too hot. Maybe it can't charge that fast. I don't know. I'm not sure what the upper limit is.
Ideally, Kyle said it would charge best between 21 and 25 C. That would be its happy place.
Okay.
We're not going to get it that cool, but he seemed to indicate there's no cooling. But I think, given that it says high battery temp under battery conditioning, I think there's logic built in to do that. So I say we take a chance on that.
Okay.
I'm going to hit activate.
Yeah, see, hit battery condition. We got the battery extra juice to do it with.
Yeah.
So see if it cools it. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
We'll activate it, and I'll keep an eye on car scanner, and we'll see what's going on.
We haven't even left Colorado yet, and it's 100 degrees outside. There we go. So looking like we're still getting there at 10% state of charge, going maximum speed up to 85 miles an hour, working our way up there. All is good.
All right, we are trying something. We just charged to 80 because we have the speeds of 100 kilowatts almost up to 80. So unplugging, heading out, off to hopefully Richfield, but we may be stopping in Salina. That's probably the case.
Yeah.
All right, you want to drive? So, not an ideal charging stop. Rivian Adventure Network is cool, but the sharing situation really hurt us when we got here. And also having to wait in line hurt us when we got here. So a few strikes against us on the first stop, which I think would be super valuable. So we'll see how far we can go on 80% state of charge. We have Richfield only 16 miles after Salina, and that would be ideal, I think, first Tesla supercharger stop. But if not, because of the hill climb, just taking a lot of juice out of this thing, we may just go Salina, which wouldn't be the end of the world either. This truck just doesn't charge amazingly, so it doesn't really matter what network we charge on. It's not like the EV9 trying to plug into Tesla and that being a huge power hit.
The EQS is leaving colorful Colorado. We'll see you later at Utah. Here we are.
Yeah, no, there's no buffer.
There's no buffer.
There's zero buffer. There's negative buffer. 9 miles of range to go at 26 miles.
What would Colton say right now?
I'm just smearing.
he's trying to block our vision.
This station's offline, so good luck to these guys.
Start your...
How could you, Tesla?
Drew, bad news. Mercedes says we're not going to make it.
Oh, snap.
And look at the crazy wind out here. This is how strong it is.
We are 40 miles an hour on the curb, emergency lights on.
Hey guys, how was the drive?
I think we need a monster charging session.
Now it's saying to go completely out of our way to a level 2 charger on the Rivian Waypoints network.
Oh, our battery is no longer overheating.
Amazing.
Unplug and replug it back in.
Damn it.
We're doing 35. I mean, we just cannot afford anything else.
I can't believe this is happening twice. What?